Kind regards, masses, it's me, Highbike, and I am back with some more Hakuoki Chronicles of Wind and Blossom. The song that we were listening to for pre-stream was Mushroom Hill, Act 1 from Sonic Generations 3DS. Um, I'm assuming that this game is a remake of it's like a mix of new stuff and then a remake of old Sonic, but I'm not really sure actually. But I like that this song, has that the old Sega Genesis kind of style sound font in it, while also having like a little bit of kind of some new sounding sampling in there. Or not sampling, but like sound. But yeah, I don't know. I think this was I probably got this in one of my funky video game jams playlists. Um, and then the pre-stream video, I saw it on my feed. So when I looked at the comments, I think that was at Anime Expo, but the guy just he just set up just to do the funny meme, the funny Shinji sitting in the chair meme, but someone gave him like a, I don't know, an offering, like, I don't know how many bucks, but they threw some kind of dollar bill at him, and then people followed suit. Cause like, if you, it's like when you go to the main lobby at Anime Expo, there are some cosplayers that stay there, and if you want to take pictures with them, you can do it for free, but you can also choose to give them money, tip them. But yeah, no, I don't think this guy was in the main lobby, but I was just looking at comments and someone mentioned that, initially he wasn't taking tips, but then people started throwing stuff at him, and like you could see, I think I think there was like a trading card in there or something, or maybe snacks. And I think it's so funny when when people start doing that. That's the fun thing about anime conventions. Like, if I ever do go back to Anime Expo, it's stuff like that I like seeing. It must have been hell on his back, yeah, because it's like, you can stay hunched over for a little bit, but then after a while it gets kind of tiring. I wonder if he took breaks, but who knows. How we doing today, Jacob? What's up? First for a haul? Yes, you are. But how we doing today? How is everyone doing? Me? I'm doing pretty great. Saturday was nice and chill. Um, I had two clients. One was actually Bodhi's client, and she requested a talk with a female, so I stepped up to the plate. And the other guy, he was, so it's kind of fucked up, but the jails will call us and refer people to us. Now, it's not their fault because they are making the referrals. The real fault is with law enforcement, because like a lot of times they'll just drop clients off in like the parking lot without walking them inside, or in this case our lobby was closed, so we always tell the jails, drop them off at PEC because our lobby's closed, and then we'll take them from PEC. But then like this guy, they just left him out in the parking lot in the front. There's this he was an old war veteran from where he was in a wheelchair, but it is kind of, this guy was kind of an asshole. Like he was the assailant in a DV situation, and he was racist as hell, but he understood that we don't have everything for him. Also, he smelled so bad. Like he smelled like it's one thing when you smell like piss, but then it's another thing when, it's like you clearly haven't showered for days and then there's like a cheesy type of smell to it. That was how bad it was. Yeah, he was like Cotton Hill, exactly. And he had those knuckle tattoos that says fuck you. So like, he's just like, fuck everything, and like he's like, yeah, it's showing me the knuckle tats, but it's so weird to say this, but he was still being respectful. Like, okay, I understand you guys can't give me housing. Like, we can just like drop off at the homeless shelter, but he kind of wanted us to call the police because basically a restraining order was put on him by his wife. Cotton was You know, I think it was both racism and sexism for him. And it's so funny when there's that clip, like, cause like everyone's always like with Connie's family, like, are you Chinese or Japanese? But then Cotton's actually like, no, you fools, he's Laotian. It's just seeing, like, I don't remember the exact quotes, but it's just, it is kind of funny. But yeah, no, yeah, that was a funny moment. But yeah, anyways, this old guy, like, he smelled so bad, like, Bodhi offered to transport him. Thankfully, the shelter is only like 7 minutes away from us, because he was like, oh man, he had to fill up a glove with patchouli and hold it up to his nose, and he like rolled down the windows after dropping the client off, because like he could taste how bad the guy smelled. I felt so bad for him. And then he was talking about how, like, you know when you're like stopped at the traffic light, there was this lady and her kid. The kid goes up and like he puts his hand on the window pane and is like, do you have any money to spare? And Bodhi's like, no. It's like, whoa. Must not reference Toho. Yeah, must not reference Toho. Yeah, Jacob experience be like, try not to make Toho reference. POV. Like, that one meme, where it's like, I mean, there's multiple memes, but it's like, for example, like, SpongeBob and Patrick trying not to laugh. I'm only thinking of that. Yeah, there's that. I know there's other ones too, but, like, other GIFs used, but yeah, there's that. But yeah, and then got to come home to watch Evangelion. Oh man! I mean, that's... Us doing the Evangelion watch along is part of why I played that pre-stream video, cause ooh, we're starting to get into the juicy bits. We're going down Depression Hill, and we also got some backstory. So man, I can't wait till we get the series finished, cause it just keeps tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down. And then today was just nice and chill. You know, me and Kyler hung out before we went to work. Oh, we finished No Game, No Life. So there is no confirmed season after season 1. I heard that they made a movie, but that's pretty much it in terms of animated media. And oh man, it's funny because like there was a Persona 4 reference. Like, so this part is weird because it's like, they played a virtual reality game. Like, keep in mind this is like an isekai anime. The race that they're playing against are, you know, basically like the, like people with the animal ears and tails or whatever. Like, it's a mix of kitsune or like the cat girls, whatever. And, the virtual reality world that they were sent to was Tokyo, and it's like, it's implied that the race, like this race, they're called the War Beasts, they just kind of imagined up Tokyo. And it's like, what? But the main character mentions something like, yeah, so this is kind of like he's talking, and in the background it's clearly Persona 4 style background, you know, with the yellow, and they got like the little flower patterns and stuff, and I'm like, it's Persona 4. And then they show a bootleg Chie, like, it shows a girl looks like Chie, but like her eyes are censored out, but she's got the short hair and the green track jacket. And then it shows 2 other generic characters. They're not actually Persona characters, but he's like, yes, it's like Persona 4. Or no, he actually says, it's just like Persona, but not Persona 4, but it's like, you could tell. But yeah, I'll have to find a screenshot of it. And, hello, Chuck, how are we doing today? What's up? Just canceled a recurring subscription, so it feels good. Yeah, like, I know, sometimes, that's the thing with subscriptions, it's like, oh, you're taking away some of your allowance to, you know, pay for some kind of service or whatever, whether it's streaming or I don't know, some person like me. but you know, sometimes you just gotta cancel, and you know, I'm glad that you took that weight off of your shoulders. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna be going on Chrome anyways. Let me see if I can look up the picture I'm talking about. Persona reference. Yeah, okay, here. Okay, there it is. There's the picture. Oh, I didn't notice. Okay, the character on the left kind of looks like Fem Teddy. But hold on. Let me see. Yeah, this is the screenshot. Like, it showed the Chie. It shows Chie first, and then it shows these characters, and I'm like, who the fuck are these people? Like, I have no idea who this middle one's supposed to be, but I guess you can kind of argue this kind of looks like Teddy's drag costume. But I mean, not exactly because it's a maid. So I'm like, oh. But like, just straight up Chie. They added hair clips just to, you know, make sure it's not completely Chie, but yeah, that threw me off. I wonder... Huh. Yeah, because the background I mentioned before this was a little different, but yeah. Anyways, this will be a drinking game stream because it is now my weekend. I got with me a Sapporo. You know, gotta have a Japanese beer for a Japanese game. Yes, this is the main character for No Game No Life. So Kyler and I just finished No Game No Life, and I saw this moment with the Persona reference. Like, he straight up says it's like Persona, and I'm like, oh my god, it's a Persona reference. Well, specifically Persona 4, like I mentioned, like, there was a, you know, that Persona style background in the middle, but yeah, I'm glad someone documented it here on the Mega 10 thread. But yes, we shall continue forth with our drinking game prompts. If you guys would like to take part with an alcoholic beverage or a non-alcoholic beverage, we'll let you know when to drink. So we'll drink every time Yukimura says huh, every time Yukimura is useless, twice if she angsts about not being able to help more, every time we get a CG, when any member of the Shinsengumi appears out of nowhere to save Yukimura in the nick of time, Okita casually mentions killing someone, twice if it's Yukimura, when someone completely fails to be fooled by Yukimura's cross-dressing, someone mentions seppuku, twice if they're actually expressing the intention to commit seppuku, Yukimura cries, twice if it happens when someone else is obviously holding back tears. Saito or Yamazaki turns out to have been lurking unseen in the shadows, when anyone calls a previously unseen lurker out of the shadows because they could tell all along that a person was there. Yukimura serves tea, Yukimura sweeps, when Ichikata and Kazuma face off, Saito and Amagiri face off, Harada and Shiranui face off, and drink a whole bunch when the three above occur at the same time. When someone points out that not having to protect Yukimura would leave the Shinsengumi better off, but the Shinsengumi, or any individual member thereof, insists on continuing to do so anyway. Someone has an episode of Fury Bloodlust. Kazuma calls any member of the Shinsengumi insects or dogs of the shogunate. Kazuma talks about the Furies being fakes. Okita coughs. Okita says, I can still fight. Hijikata says any form of that's in order. Harada talks about how it's a man's duty to protect women and or children. Saito delivers a soliloquy about swords. Heisuke angsts about being a monster. Someone drinks Yukimura's blood. Amagiri interrupts and stops a fight. You hear the phrase warrior spirit or bushi no tamashi. Someone tells Yukimura any form of I leave, insert whoever's route it is to you. Hijikata says nandato, or what the hell? Every time someone says seriously, sheesh, don't worry, for real, calm down, among, white, or thank you so much. Every time I make a wrong choice and have to go back. Every time a character dies. Every time anyone is loud. 2 drinks if it's Nagakura. Every time alcohol is involved. Every time Kazuma insists Yukimura should be his waifu. Every time Okita simps for Kondo. Every time the date is announced. For every grammar or spelling error. Every time Sen tens her fingers. And then every time fingers are described as slender. I think it's so funny that, you know, we have 2 finger-related prompts next to each other. But yeah, I mean, if you guys ever have any ideas for prompts to add to the list, please let me know. And I will consider adding it to the list. How are we doing today, Rampart? What's up? Yes, we are doing a drinking game stream, so you can take part with an alcoholic beverage or a non-alcoholic beverage. You purchased alcohol. Perfect. What you got? But yes, let us go forth with game. Oh, and really quick. So, on my 2 different Tomodachi Life islands, the main one, or I mean, people, we had at least 2 couples married on each island. So Big Boss, I was surprised, proposed to Ocelot. So but it's funny because or actually I can show that because I clipped it a little. Let me see. Because sometimes when someone does the initial proposal at the end, the other party might also propose. That's kind of real, right? And I'm glad it happened. But I don't know, like they had already been dating, but here. Soju and Mike's Hard Lemonade. Oh, Harder Lemonade, very nice.
John.
Yeah, like they both propose at the same time. I love that.
Of course.
Oh, and I'll also show what happened afterwards. So, for background, in the game, I put that both Solid Snake and Liquid Snake are Big Boss's kids. Now here's what happened after they got married. Like how their flowers clip into each other, right?
Ocelot have discovered something that will change their view of reality forever. As it actually turns out, the couple has existing kids in Master Highbike's world. Further prodding into their personal lives revealed that.
And it's funny because I had both snakes, or I had both of them move in with Big Boss and Ocelot. And then immediately after that, there was another news report literally reporting the same fucking thing. That, oh, these two are related to each other. They're siblings. But yeah, that happened. And then on my Persona Island... Wait, we're not playing Tomodachi Life. On my Persona Island, Yuka and Naoya married each other. Like, I think... Oh, it was Naoya that proposed. But yeah, like, they started dating just yesterday, and it's like, what the fuck? It sucks, too, because Brad the Chad was the one confessing, and I'm like, yes, I can have them date in both islands. But it was one of those confessions where, like, multiple people butt in, like, Yukino's like, no, I like Naoya, and then Yuka comes in and she's like, I like Naoya. And I was really adamant thinking, oh yes, Naoya's gonna choose Brad the Chad because that's the only correct answer. But then he's like, no, I like Yuka, or Ayase, whatever. And I'm like, no! But I just had it happen anyways, because, you know, why not switch things up? The news reporter kinda hot. Was that Kiyomi? I think it was. Thank you. She's my own original character, do not steal. Oh yeah, and it is good that Tomodachi Life would account for the possibility. But yeah. I know, bruh! I would, honestly, low-key, I was thinking they were gonna date and then at some point one of them would break up. But that did not... That totally backfired on me. So I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what happens from here. You are going to get PJs and snacks to munch on. Alright, you do that. And I will be here. So last time on Hakuoki, we found out that Kazuma has a very big appreciation for nature, and also he's just like, humans be foolish getting into wars and stuff. And he kind of be spitting facts. But, yeah, Yukimura is just like slowly realizing, you know what, maybe he isn't so bad. So, when the war was happening at the end of Kyoto wins and we have to escape, obviously Inoue gets his canon event, but then Kazuma comes in to save the day, and surprisingly Kaoru shows up and is like, oh, sister! Ballfather shows up immediately after, and it's just like, what the fuck? Kaoru again? It does make sense that we'd have to deal with them because, you know, it's like all these demon clans clashing against each other. But what surprised me even more was that Sen and Kimigiku are actually on board working with Kazuma and his goons. So now we're all headed to Edo. Oh, also we saw the game's first horse. Like, they actually drew a horse. Like, I didn't think it was possible, but here we are. I've had about enough of this dude. Yeah, me at Kaoru. Yes, we're here. So we're finally. It's cool. We've only had like 2 streams with Kazuma's Kyoto Winds route, so that quickens things up. But let's see how this route goes. All right. Let me. The opening's always so much louder, so let me bring up the audio here. January 1868. We're automatically starting off with a drink for the date. Probably had this epiphany before, but Kaoru Nagisa sounds a lot like Kaoru Nagumo. The first names, yes, but I don't think we mentioned the surnames. You're right. Damn, I wonder if that's intentional. No, maybe it's that's definitely a reach. They are nothing alike. The Battle of Toba Fushimi ended with the Satsuma and Choshu victorious. As the shogunate troops retreated, the Shinsengumi headed towards Edo. 4 years ago, I came to Kyoto by myself in search for my father and met the Shinsengumi. I was now leaving Kyoto, where I had made such fond memories. He committed himself to stopping my father, and I chose to walk alongside him. We would head to Edo without knowing what fate awaited us. Previously on Hakuwoki Ball Z. Oh man, I just imagine Kazuma and Baldfather going Super Saiyan, Super Demon mode, and just screaming at each other. That's what's gonna happen this route. They got like the power up aura. Oh, this was it. Oh wait, but then it goes right to the opening. Right, I think that's why I stopped last time. Like right there. Hey experimenter, what's up? How we doing? We are doing a drinking game stream, so if you'd like to take part with an alcoholic beverage or a non-alcoholic beverage such as Ensure, we'll let you know when to drink. Alright, here we go. It's time for Edo Blossoms, and it's time to watch yet another opening sequence. I just remembered. Right? Or is it gonna be after the thingy? Oh, okay. You're missing Ensure activity? Don't look at me, look at Chuck! Oh, okay, yeah, I think we have to read the prologue first. Yeah, he's here, he just stepped out to get some PJs and stuff. You ever get lightheaded after an argument? Not all the time, but it's not a usual occurrence, but it's like, sure, if it was an especially heated one, sure. Winter 1863. I'll count it as a date drink, why not? I traveled to Kyoto in order to search for my father, with whom I'd lost contact. Oh shit! No, wait, go back. Hold on. I meant to do the... Hold on. I meant to look back at the CG over there. Are you fucking... Oh, god damn it. Oh no, I fucked up. Get... okay, what? Skip! Oh my god, okay, whatever. I was gonna show the CG. The CG that we see every time we look at the Edo Blossoms prologue. We're seeing more fins, but for what? Why are we still here? Oh my god, like I can't skip the little ooh, look at the logo. Alright. Well thankfully there's not much after this. Yeah, we got it. Wait a minute, that's the horse! That was the same fucking frame that we saw. That was the last CG of the Kyoto Wind section. Okay. There we go. Now I pressed the wrong button. So CG drink and also white up ahead. Wait, hold on. Let's hold. In that city, I bore witness to a horrifying secret hidden within a group called the Shinsengumi. The Furies. Creatures with white hair and crimson eyes. Okay, yeah, that's still 2 drinks. One for white, one for CG. Luckily, I was saved from the vicious clutches of the Furies by the members of the Shinsengumi. Since I had discovered their secrets... Wait, hold on, we can skip a little bit ahead. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, here, the real relevant stuff. It's a CG drink. It was during this time that a demon named Chikage Kazama emerged, standing in opposition to the Shinsengumi. It was later revealed to me that I was of demon descent, which was why Kazama was relentlessly pursuing me. However, the winds of change were blowing. The mysterious wind. Anti-shogunate sentiments were spreading throughout the country, and war between the shogunate and the Satsuma Choshu seemed inevitable. Here's another CG drink. During the Battle of Toba Fushimi, I found myself separated from the Shinsengumi, only to be rescued by Kazama. The Satsuma Choshu, however, were ultimately the victorious, and so the Shinsengumi were forced to flee Kyoto. The dab, oh my god. With Kazama's help, I embarked on a journey back to Edo in search of the Shinsengumi. Yeah, you don't really see people dab too much anymore. It's old. Here we go. Alright, we got the Edo Blossoms opening. You know, I just realized if we go to the initial title screen, it might actually loop, like, you know, kind of like with the other, like with Persona 2. It might give us both versions of the openings, depending on, like, you know, it's like you wait long enough, or you skip the first intro, wait, second intro comes in. Like, I don't know why I never thought about that for this game. I'm just so used to seeing that Kyoto wins opening sequence. But whatevs. Oh yeah, Kyler made these awesome breakfast burritos. Like, they taste great. Like, it's got like beef, eggs, bell peppers, onions, with some good stuff. Alright. Oh yeah, the one time we see Yukimura wearing the Western clothing. Alright, now we get to the fun part. This is where the fun begins. It's so funny, like, how many quotes you can get from Star Wars. I don't know, just a lot of iconic quotes. January 1868. Perfect. A date drink. The war between the shogunate army and the Sacho began in Kyoto during the Battle of Toba Fushimi. The Shinsengumi had been honorably tasked with guarding the Fushimi magistrate, but upon witnessing the Sacho's devastating firepower, much of which had been purchased from Western arms dealers, the Shinsengumi were forced to retreat. In the ensuing chaos of the magistrate's evacuation, I was separated from the Shinsengumi, isolated amidst a sea of bullets and cannons firing overhead. I fled to the outskirts of Kyoto, taking refuge in the vast forest until a traitorous band of ex-shogunate soldiers discovered me, where Kazama, who was coincidentally passing by, came to my aid. I was also reunited with my father, Kodo Yukimura, as well as my estranged twin brother, Kaoru Nagumo. What a quinky dink, right? But my father was no longer the same man I'd known growing up. Using a serum called the Water of Life to create Furies, he joined the Sacho side to help them overthrow the shogunate in the hopes of reviving the Yukimura village. To my horror, my father and brother revealed that they'd been creating new, more powerful Furies to aid the Sacho. This would certainly thrust the Shinsengumi into deadlier battles than ever before. The defeated Shinsengumi had made for Osaka Castle. Kazama and I headed after them. Had made for. Like, okay, I'm kind of half on this sounding right. Cause I know you can be like made way, but made for? Is that a thing? Like, let me see. Made for phrase. Dunno. Yeah. Is it worth looking up? Like, I don't think this is. Yeah, I don't think I'm seeing. I'm just looking for the excuse to drink. Fuck it, we'll drink for it. Grammar error. Oh, I also need to switch to the Edo Blossoms walkthrough. Kazama Edo Blossoms. Let's make for the trees. Yeah, no, you right. You right. That is a phrase. Ah, whatever. On the way, we met up with Sen, Kimikiku, Amakiri, and Shiranui. I realized that I didn't know anything about Kazuma, or the rest of the demons. Sen advised that we head to Edo to find the Shinsengumi, and so we set off once more. Oh, okay. I thought no more Shinsengumi, but okay, cool. I hope we all work together. The wind gently caressed my cheeks on our route to Edo, singing its hushed song through the pines. We proceeded down the mountain road, mist drifting all around us. The Tokaido was still under shogunate jurisdiction. Ah, good old Silent Hill F vibes over here. For Kazuma, who was affiliated with the Satsuma, this was enemy territory. In order to avoid unnecessary trouble, we had no choice but to abandon our horse and use a path off the main trail. I wondered if the Shinsengumi men were all safe and sound. Were they all able to reunite with one another and reach Edo? The branches scraped my arms as my eyes struggled to make out anything in the darkness. I still pushed forward.
少しは落ち着いたらどうだ。そんな調子では宿場にたどり着く前に体力が尽きてしまうぞ。
Your concern is appreciated, but I want to get to Edo as soon as possible.
ダメだ。今日はこの近くで休むことにする。
But
幕府の総大将、徳
ダメだね。
はすでに
ダメ
戦意を
よ。
失っている。
ダメなのよ。
無論幕府側にも物分かりの悪い連中はいるだろうが、奴らが再戦の機を得るまでにはもうしばらく時間がかかるはずだ。戦がなければ行動たちも手柄など立てようがあるまい。お前が急いだところで状況は変わらぬ。
Kazuma might have been right. And besides, likely because I had been aggressively marching through rough terrain, my feet were swollen, throbbing to the point that every step was painful.
幸い向こうに廃屋らしきものが見える。
Oh, how
あそ
convenient.
こで休息を取ることにしよう。
Fine. I hesitantly followed after Kazuma. The house itself was very modest in size. A fine film of dust covered every inch of the floor, giving me the impression that it had been vacated ages ago. Is it really alright for the two of us to come into someone's house? Dog, it's fucking abandoned! Why are you worried?
家か山小屋かは知らぬが、使われていないのは一目瞭然だ。我々が使っても構うまい。今の時期に野宿などすれば間違いなく凍え死ぬぞ。
Although the thought of intruding upon someone's house somewhat unsettled me, excuse me, I couldn't afford to die out here. Not before I found my father and brother and put a stop to their plans. Fortunately, there was some bedding stashed away, so at the very least, I wouldn't freeze to death. Kazuma's eyes darted around the room, and he stepped towards a sunken fire pit, crouching down to take a pinch of old soot between his fingers. Being alone in this derelict house with him was dreadfully awkward. I sat in silence as I watched him examine the fireplace. Eventually, he reached into his pocket and pulled out pieces of flint to start a fire. Excuse me, Kazuma? I can light the fire.
お前は黙って座っていろ。すぐに温まる。
Flint and steel! Oh, fuck. But isn't building a fire a little bit more difficult than that? Back when I lived in Edo with my father, or even when I lived with the Shinsengumi, it was rare that we would need to build a fire from scratch. More often than not, we'd go and get embers from the neighbors. The
火
Nether.
を起こすのは面倒なもの。
I am Kazuma.
だが人間どもは面倒なことを意味嫌いすぎる。
Kazuma held each piece of flint in his hands, clapping them together in a swift motion to produce sparks. Once more, he reached into his pocket, pulling from it some paper to use as kindling. Whoa! Soon, a fire was blazing in the old, worn-out fire pit. Although Kazuma was the one who'd suggested that the two of us rest here for the night, imagine he just pulled out a modern lighter. Like, what is this magic you have here? He didn't look exhausted in the slightest. Had he suggested it for my sake?
もう少しいろりの近くに寄れ。体が冷えているだろう。
Oh, yes. I did as he instructed and approached him beside the fire, reaching out to warm my hands. The cold slowly dissipated from my limbs. It was nice and warm. Oh, yeah, I knew this. I knew this was coming up. Wow, he looks nice. Shadows twisted and flickered upon Kazuma's face as he gazed quietly into the fire. And that is a CG drink. He looks contemplative. I realized I knew almost nothing about him, or the demon clans. To me, they were simply beings that opposed the Shinsengumi at every turn. And that, as a demon woman, I was their target. This was the extent of my knowledge, and I knew even less about Kazuma himself. No, not just him. I didn't even know what demons were to begin with. Kazuma, would you mind telling me about demons?
突然なんだ。
If what you, Sen, my father, and my brother all said was true, then I am part of a demon clan, right? But I can't help but feel so disconnected from it all. I have no idea where demons came from, how long they've been around, or what they even are. Welcome to the Cathedral of Shadows, where demons gather. Man, that takes me back. That's why I want to know more about myself, and about all of you, too. Welcome to the Gomaden. that also takes me back. Kazuma stared straight ahead, into the fire. For a moment he was silent, then turned his crimson gaze onto me. Oh! He did change his eye path or whatever. His path of eyesight. I'll show it that he's looking kind of at us. Ah, the good old days, right? The good old days after 9/11.
ただ一つ言えることは、鬼と人間の歴史は衝突や圧力の繰り返しだったということだ。我々鬼は一人で戦えば決して人間相手に遅れを取ることなどないが、人間どもは我々と違い数という武器を持っている。
Numbers!
虎がいかに強かろうと、狩れる獲物の数には限りがある。また、人間の欲には限りがない。
The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you.
だから、かつての鬼たちは人間の前から姿を消すことにした。
Hold on, the demons clans? He could just say demon clans or demons apostrophe, so that is definitely a grammar error string.
もっとも、劣った人間相手に逃げ隠れすることを良しとせず、人間どもに挑み、退治されたはぐれ鬼も少なからずいたようだがな。
You mean the demons in legends and folktales?
すべてとは言わんが、一部は各地に散った鬼のことを指しているのだろうな。
Ah. I wondered to myself how the demon clans might have coped with being driven into hiding. Listening to Kazuma's story raised so many questions. Excuse me, there's so many questions for me. Ooh, we got some juicy answers here. I want to know more about the Yukimura clan. Or, well, I mean, if we're gonna be asking about him, we should want to know why he opposed the Shinsengumi. I think that might be the correct answer. Kazuma, you mentioned that the demon clans chose to live away from human society. So why did you associate with the Sacho and oppose the Shinsengumi? He'd said that demons typically avoided all interactions with humans, or all interaction, and yet Kazuma had taken up his sword to fight for the Sacho's cause. It didn't make sense. Kazuma was expressionless, only narrowing his eyes slightly.
人間どもの目が届かぬ場所など、この国にはもはやないということだ。
What?
普通の人間は預かり知らぬことだが、時の権力者や諸藩の高い位にある者は我々の存在を知っていた。今から200数十年前の戦国の世、大名の中には鬼に取り入り、その力を使って天下取りを成し遂げた者もいた。例えばお前の家だ。
My clan? What?
お前の先祖は関ヶ原の戦の際、徳川
I
家
think this is
康
still
の
the right
力を
answer.
貸し、
Let's keep going with
かの
it.
者の天下取りの手助けをした。
The Battle of Sekigahara was one of the most important battles in our country's history, signifying the pivotal shift of power into Tokugawa hands. To think that my ancestors had a hand in influencing this outcome?
対して我ら風間家、天桐家は
Oh,
徳川の
hey.
敵となった西軍の大名についた。
No wonder they're besties.
今回薩摩藩に手を貸しているのはその時の縁を頼られてのことだ。
So, like, where does Shiranui come into play?
知らぬ
Oh,
我
okay.
々とは
Thanks.
異なる理由で長州に協力
Okay,
してい
yeah.
るようだ。
That checks out.
だが人間どもの争いに手を貸すのはこれきりだ。薩摩ももはや我々の力を当てにしてはおるまい。倒幕は半ばなったようなものだからな。
I suddenly remembered the Shinsengumi men, and my eyes fell to the floor. The flames continued to crackle, punctuating the silence floating between Kazuma and me.
明日も早い。今日のところはもう寝ておけ。
In all honesty, I wanted to continue talking with Kazuma for a little longer, but... You're right. I will then. We still had to walk through the mountain tomorrow, so I needed every minute of rest that I could get. It wasn't until I'd gotten close enough to the musty bedding that something occurred to me. Kazuma? Do you really expect me to sleep here?
他に部屋があるように見えるのか。
But... As I listened carefully for any sound outside of the house, I picked up none. Not a single bird, nor insect. It was only the two of us. Just the two of us. We were completely alone.
どうした？
Hold on, the guide says that answer was right, but how come I'm not seeing anything? I am. Kazuma was a man. Well, a demon. And I, in spite of my current attire, a woman. How could I possibly sleep sharing a room with him? Should I be prepared for the worst? I pulled my bedding over to the opposite side of the fire pit. Kazuma picked up on it, a slight amused smile stretching across his face.
なるほど。先ほどから妙に緊張していると思っていたが、そういうことか。
Is that an issue? I mean, I am a woman, technically. I just figured it was better to be safe than sorry. Excuse me, technically. Had I said something funny? His eyes narrowed as they darted towards me. He spoke, his voice just above a whisper.
襲ってほしいのか。
Whoa! Whoa, okay, Kazuma. Of course not! Wait, what the heck? Oh, I like heard a sound. Like I thought Kazuma was speaking more, but I was at this text box. It's just Chowder snoring next to me. Whoa, man. My cheeks were burning, and not because of the fire.
冗談だ。
'Twas a
この俺を
joke.
獣か何かだと思っているのか、お前は。鬼は格式と古き伝統を重んじる。祝言を挙げるまで手を
Oh, whoa!
安心しろ。
'Twas drink, huh? Funny. But marriage? But I have no intention of marrying you.
いいから今日は寝ろ。
You know, he's not really saying that Yukimura should be his waifu, but I don't know. It's like it's kind of implied there, but it's not like he's all like, "You will be my waifu." I don't know.
明日も厳しい行軍になる。眠れる時にね。
I don't think I'll count it this time. Yes. His tone was harsh, but his words were kind, so I did as he instructed and slipped into the bedding. What? I still didn't trust him though. Hold on. Okay, let me go back. I did choose the right thing, right? Like, the guide is saying... Yeah. The guide said that's correct, so I don't know why it's not giving us the moon thing. Whatever, I'll stick with it. I didn't say one word about the victim being a demon. I still didn't trust him though. But at the very least, he didn't strike me as the kind to lie. More than that, I should be worrying about my father and brother. If the Shinsengumi ended up in battle against my father's furies, I shudder to think of it. I had to stop them, whatever it took. I shut my eyes uneasily, falling asleep as the fire crackled hauntingly behind me. So, I don't get that. No moon this time? When I awoke... yeah, that's a hot drink. It felt as though I'd closed my eyes and opened them a second later. He's still there! He's still doing the pose! No, I'm not counting this as a it's not a new CG. But what the fuck? He's just been sitting there staring at the fire for all these hours. Haha, funny. Kazuma was fixed in place, sitting exactly as he had been when I first fell asleep. It was like no time had passed at all. Bro was a statue for real. But the sunlight entering the room and the sound of birds chirping told me it was morning. Is it morning? Dog! If you knew, why are you asking?
目が覚めた。
Fucking stupid.
支度ができ次第出発するぞ。
Alright, I'll show off the CG now that it's bright. And he's looking at us-ish. Understood. It felt like I hadn't slept at all. But at the very least, I was able to recuperate somewhat from the previous day. Excuse me, Kazuma? Did you stay up the whole night?
全く眠らなかったわけではない。
Or so he claimed. It seemed to me that he had stayed awake to tend the fire and keep me warm. Thank you.
それは何に対する礼だ。お前に礼を言われる覚えはない。早く身支度をしろ。行動たちを追うのだろう。
Kazuma never looked my way the entire time he spoke, and he exited the room as soon as the words left his mouth. My initial impression of him was a curt, egotistical man who intimidated and murdered his foes without remorse, but he didn't seem to be a bad person deep down. Yeah. He's a kudera, yeah. I hadn't felt this way since I'd become separated from the Shinsengumi men. It gave a little bit of joy, and a soft smile stretched across my face. Excuse me. Kazuma and I continued down the mountain path. At long last, we reached a milestone, passing beside the most precipitous mountain in the country, Hakone. Edo would be just beyond it. As we tried passing the checkpoint, however,
お待ちください。
a voice suddenly called out to us from behind. Yeah, it is Amagiri. Amagiri, what are you doing here?
薩摩藩の命で各藩に密書を届けている途中なのですが、その道中あなた方の姿を見かけたものですから。
薩摩の連中の命令など放っておけ。今の状況ならば我々が手を貸さずとも倒幕はほぼなったようなものだろう。
あなたならばそう言うだろうと思っていましたが、性分でして私はもうしばらく薩摩藩に付き合おうと思います。
物好きな。
時にお二方、あともう少しで江戸ですが、あの関所をどうやって通り抜けるつもりですか？
Huh? Well, hot drink. The way they hold their hands is so weird when it's held like that for so long. That's true. It's like, Kazuma, don't your hands get tired? Kazuma had been acting so casually about it, I hadn't stopped to think it would be an issue. I glanced at him, assuming he had some way prepared.
通行手形を持っている。
Okay, there's no period at that right there, so that's a grammar error drink. He has the pass.
お言葉ですが、その手形を受け取った時と今では状況が違
He
い
has the pass.
薩摩藩に組みする我々は幕府とは敵対している身。手形を出せば関所で認められ、戦議を受けるのは間違いないでしょう。しかも今のあなたは薩摩藩の命で動いているわけでもない。
回りくどい物言いは好まぬ。何が言いたい？
人間たちの目につかぬよう別の道を通ることを勧めます。
Kazuma looked visibly annoyed by Amagiri's suggestion.
別の道だと。この箱根に人が通れるような道が他にあるとでも思うのか。
ここで騒動を起こすべきではないと言っているだけです。
幕府は鳥羽伏見の戦いに敗れている。今さら薩摩とことを構えようとは思うまい。我々が薩摩の手のものだと知っても見て見ぬふりをするだろう。
人間を甘く見すぎです。確かに総大将にはもう戦う意志などないでしょうが、幕府側の人間が皆物分かりのいいものばかりとは限りません。
天霧貴様、この俺に意見するつもりか。
Each of Amagiri's straightforward suggestions were met by Kazuma's growing anger. If they continued to bicker publicly, then the soldiers stationed at the checkpoint would surely notice. I must find a way to calm down Kazuma. Give him a little kiss! No, just kidding, but calm down, drink. I think Yukimura needs to... Yeah, let's be direct here, I guess. I think... Yeah, like, I don't know. This answer seems kind of weak. We'll go with this one. Kazuma, you are the head of a demon clan. Yes? Shouldn't you hear Amagiri out and take his advice if it is sound? That would be becoming of a leader.
もしあの土方とかいう男とこの俺を比べているのか。
No, I didn't mean that. I was just speaking my mind.
まあいい。
Wait,
お前
hold
が
on, was that?
構わぬというのであれば
Ah! No,
別
no.
の道を探すことにしよう。ただし、道がどれだけ険しくとも泣き言は
Oh,
聞かんぞ。
okay, no, that's not right. His eyes really looked extra red at that comment. Yeah, it was scary. Alright, so that's a reload drink. My father will notice us. If the two of us have trouble entering the city, then we may draw my father's attention. Although the trip may take a little bit longer, we should probably look for another route. Kazuma's lips pursed momentarily, carefully thinking over what I had said. Yeah, okay. But I don't get it. So
確かに
the guide said for that other choice. Excuse me, why did he oppose the Shinsengumi? And that was supposed to be right. Excuse me. And I looked at another guide and it said it was right too, so I'm confused, but whatever. Whatever.
まあいい。お前が構わぬというのであれば別の道を探すことにしよう。ただし、
Oh,
道がどれだけ
okay.
険しくとも泣き言は聞かんぞ。いいな。
Yes, I understand.
それでは私はこれで。道中お気をつけください。
Amagiri bowed respectfully. Do you understand? Without another word, he spun on his heel and vanished into the desolate, wintry forest. That doesn't look wintry to me. Kazuma and I walked away from the checkpoint towards an uphill trail that was far from the well-trodden path.
早くも息が切れてきたようだな。だから言ったのだ。
No, I'm fine. The inclines around Hakone were far steeper than I had imagined. A billow of thick mist stretched all around me, throwing me off balance. Just then... Ah! My foot slipped upon a loose rock, and I nearly tumbled off the hill into the valley below. Yukimura, please! Oh my god! Watch where you're stepping! When... Kazuma instantly grabbed my hand.
大事はないか。
Oh. Oh. In one swift, forceful movement, he yanked me back up onto the trail. It took me some time to gather myself enough to speak. Come on, step it up! I couldn't believe that Kazuma, who'd clashed with the Shinsengumi time and time again, had actually come to my aid. I know, he said Daijobu. He does care. It wasn't the first time, but I just couldn't get used to it.
なぜ返事をせぬ？怪我でもしたのか？
Oh, his face even slightly changed to a slightly concerned face. No, I'm fine. Thank you.
行くぞ。
Kazuma spun around to continue trudging through the trail, keeping my hand tightly clasped in his. Oh, how lewd. Okay, I was like, there has to be a CG here. Oh. Kazuma? What are you doing? What does it look like I'm doing? That's a CG Drake.
これとは何だ？
You're still, holding my hand. Oh! Kazuma forcibly yanked my hand as he marched forward. Yo, look at those hands.
そっちは
The brief zoom in on the hands. Oh man. Oh, thank you. I was still scared of how steep the trail was, but I followed close behind him, hand in his. His grasp was surprisingly warm and comforting. Will the fingers be described as slender? Tune in some more to find out. I almost forgot that they belonged to someone who could kill as easily as breathing. Suddenly, I remembered what had happened at the checkpoint, and I tugged at him slightly. Excuse me, Kazuma?
なんだ？
Earlier, when you were insisting on passing through the checkpoint, was that for my sake? Initially, Kazuma had no response.
お前たち女鬼は我々男鬼とは違う。負った傷こそすぐに癒えるが、体力や腕力は人間の女とほとんど変わらぬ。
Okay. Whoa, hold on. A human woman? Okay, I almost glazed over that. That's a spelling error drink. I feel like he's just saying that.
故に鬼の里から出ることはほとんどなく、その身は男鬼たちに守られてきた。
In other words, it was natural for him, as a demon man, to protect me from harm. He demonstrated this not through his words, but through his actions. In a way, it reminded me of how the Shinsengumi had kept me safe.
もうしばらく悪路が続く。俺の手を握っておけ。
He just wants to hold her hand. Yes, I will. It never once crossed my mind that I might end up crossing Hakone hand in hand with Kazuma. Excuse me. As soon as we crossed over to the other side of this mountain, we would arrive in Edo. Did father truly intend on using Furies to wage war in the city? I had to stop him, before anyone fell victim. At the end of our brutal hike through Hakone's mountains, we safely arrived in Edo. It was a stroke of good fortune that neither father nor Kaoru had seemed to hear of our presence. My first order of business was reuniting with the Shinsengumi after weeks of separation, and so I set off in search of their headquarters, but they'd already set off for their next battle. Damn.
Shinsengumiの連中が甲府に向かっただと。
Yes, I heard from Dr. Matsumoto. I had also discovered that the Shinsengumi renamed themselves as the Kohyo Regulatory Company. They had set out for Kofu as they were tasked with protecting the territory surrounding Kofu Castle.
愚かなことをする。せっかく鳥羽伏見で拾った命をむざむざ捨てに行くとはな。
What? They're not being foolish.
他に何と言えばいいのだ。徳川慶喜はこれ以上の争いを避けるため寺にこもって謹慎している。なのに奴らはなぜわざわざ戦火を広げるような真似をするのだ。審判大名も不代大名も次々と徳川を見限りつつある今、どうあがいても勝ち目などあるまい。
I couldn't quite believe what I was hearing. Was Kazuma expressing concern over the well-being of the Shinsengumi? I can't say whether or not their decision was wise, but I don't think they're looking at it in terms of losses or gains. I knew that the Shinsengumi warriors were focused on something more important than winning or losing. I wasn't a warrior, so perhaps I was unable to completely understand them. All of them follow the path they believe in. I can say that for certain. Kazuma glanced at me from the corner of his eye, raising his eyebrow irritably to my suggestion. The stream notification just never happened for you? Damn. I guess it'd be like that sometimes, but how are we doing today, Goblin? What's up? We are doing a drinking game stream, so if you'd like to take part with an alcoholic beverage or a non-alcoholic beverage, we'll let you know when to drink. His anger grew stronger and I shivered nervously.
信じた道を歩んでいるだと。手負いの獣が暴れているのとどう違うというのだ。
Injured beast? Kazuma was dismissing all the Shinsengumi's hard work, difficulties, and values. The Shinsengumi were nowhere near as savage and desperate as he seemed to think. However, as much as I had wanted to argue, I chose not to. Kazuma may have been assuming things about them, but I realized that I was doing the same. There was no sense in getting into a fight over something neither of us actually knew anything about.
新選組の連中のことなどどうでもいい。それよりも行動や南雲薫の動向はつかめたのか。
Unfortunately, no. I had asked Dr. Matsumoto as well as father's old acquaintances, but none of them seemed to have any clue where the two of them could be.
奴らが倒幕をあくまで押し通すなら、江戸で戦を起こすときに現れるということか。
Feeding father's army of furies would require a copious amount of blood. Many people's worth. I had to stop my father before it came to that. As I reminded myself of what I'd committed myself to, Kazuma suddenly said something unexpected. You were playing Expedition 33 earlier and was 30 minutes into a fight only to die when they were low. Oof, I'm sorry. Oh, I hate when shit like that happens. That's so... Oh, man. It's the worst. What's funny is that Kaoru calls Hijaker little sister, but they're twins, so he's probably 2 seconds older than her. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. It's funny when, like, you know, it's like there's like that one twin who's all like, yeah, I'm 2 seconds earlier, or, I was born 2 seconds earlier than you, so I'm the older one. Which, you know, yeah, that's true, but, yeah, right? They're the same fucking age. Virgil vibes too, yeah.
まあいい。奴らも奴らが率いるまがい者どももこの俺が始末する。
Oh, there we go. It's a Fury fake drink, I think. Let me double check on that. Yeah.
お前は宣告話に出た松本という医者のもとにでも身を寄せていろ。新選組の連中のところでも構わぬ。
Huh? No, and a hall drink. Kazuma's question blindsided me. What are you talking about? I can deal with my father and brother myself.
俺がヤセの女鬼と交わした約束は、お前を江戸まで連れて行くというものだった。行動や南雲薫の説得に手を貸せとまでは言われておらぬ。
But the entire reason we returned to Edo was to stop them.
そもそもあやつらがお前の言葉などに耳を傾けるとでも思っているのか。
Kazuma raised a good point, and I thought back to what happened during the Battle of Toba-Fushimi. Nothing I said had gotten through to either of them. In spite of that encounter, I asked Kazuma a question. Kazuma, do you plan on killing my father and brother? Kazuma didn't give me a straight answer, but he didn't deny it. He refused to look me in the eye, choosing instead to stare blankly ahead.
奴らは今後ますますまがい者どもの数を増やしていくつもりだろう。
Again.
連中には近づくな。お前の手に負える相手ではない。いいな。
He spoke in a hushed tone. Oh. Without another word, Kazuma vanished into the crowd of people bustling down Edo's streets. I realized too late that I hadn't properly thanked Kazuma for safely escorting me back to Edo. He had been the Shinsengumi's enemy. He had no reason to associate with me at this point. I understood that. But what was I supposed to do now? To prevent the terrifying expansion of Father's army of Furies, Kazuma only had one option. Finding Father and Kaoru, then killing them. I had to do everything in my power to stop him. And so, I headed to the only place I knew, my childhood home, which had been left unattended while I'd been gone. Part of me clung to the naive hope that Father would be there, waiting for me, but the yard was overgrown with weeds, and the floor was coated in a thick layer of dust. The Fast and the Furious. Family. Yeah, it's all about the family. Excuse me. It seemed that few others had visited here since my departure. Just where could Father be? During our last conversation, he seemed set on building momentum with his army of Furies, toppling the shogunate, and increasing his notoriety, but was that what he really wanted to do? As I looked around the room, I recalled how Father had used this place to treat patients. Food poisoning. Oh, wait a minute. Food poisoning, huh? Or is that you poisoning? Man, yeah, like, given what we know from that one route, fuck, dude. If Kodo taught elementary school, what would it be called? Is this a joke? Cause I don't know. I don't know. Baldi's basics. Oh shit.
お題なら余裕
I
があ
give
る
that a
時で
plus
構い
1.
ませんよ。向こうの部屋から薬を持ってきてあげてくれるかい？
Father treated every patient with care, regardless of their income status or how severe their illness was. No matter how high the fees were, he never hounded those who could not pay. He was a cherished, well-respected member of our community. Surely all of this had to be a misunderstanding. How could my kind and gentle father conduct gruesome experiments with the water of life to assist the new empire of Japan? How could he not feel anything about creating new Furies one after the other? I grew angry thinking about it when I heard the front door creak as it slid open. Oh, who could it be now? Was it? I froze out, slowly turning my head to look over my shoulder. The Kodo you know never existed.
誰かいるのか？
Oh shit, it really is him! His voice was unmistakable. Father! I called out to him shakily in response, and watched a silhouette slink towards me quietly.
お前も江戸に来ていたのだね。元気そうでよかった。もし戦に巻き込まれて死んでいたらと心配していたんだよ。
I could see tears well up in Father's eyes. Are you fucking serious? I think she's hallucinating, but anyways, that's 2 drinks because it's someone else crying. I knew that expression so well. I almost convinced myself that our last conversation was nothing but a bad dream. It'd be so funny if flashbacks involving him had a full head of hair. I know, right? It's like he wasn't always this bald. But I knew better. Where's Kaoru? Is he not with you? Oh my god. Kodo with a mullet, bro. That'd be so funny.
ああ、彼には他に用事を頼んであるからね。
With the low taper fade, bro. There were no Furies nearby, as far as I could tell. This may be my only opportunity to convince my father. Father, answer me something. Do you really plan on creating more Furies for the Imperial Army? Hijinker. That can't be what you really want, is it? Father, didn't you dedicate your life to becoming a doctor in order to help those who were suffering? Every night, Father pored over books on Western studies and medicine. He gave every last bit of himself to try and find a way to help the sick and dying. There was no way that level of dedication could have faded so easily.
そうだな。純血の鬼であるお前と違い、雪村家の分血児の生まれの私は
Wait, what?
そう変わらん。
Oh. I don't think he ever really specified that. Like, we know he's like a branch family member, but okay. I mean, that makes sense.
大病で死にかけたこともある。
Oh, Kodo backstory.
だからこそ私はかつての私と同じように病で苦しんでいる人を救うため
Interesting.
蘭医学を学んだのだ。
Father, so it was just as I expected. Father still possessed an innate desire to care for others. Or maybe he's giving us a fake story. My joy was short-lived as Father continued.
だがね、
Yeah,
いか
of
に医
course,
術が
of
進
course.
歩しようと、
Yeah, we've seen this shit in other routes.
人間どもはそれを上回る速さで武器を作り、戦を起こし、
Kill
互い
each
に
other.
殺し合いを始め
Kill
て
each
しまうだ
other.
ろ
Kill each
う。
other.
そうなれば、かつてのお前やカオルくんのような哀れな子供を次々と生み出してしまうに違いない。そんな愚かな生き物たちだけに、この国の舵取りを任せてはおけまい。
The mood in the room suddenly shifted. I gazed in horror as father's body began to radiate a blinding aura. Holy shit, yeah, what the fuck? White! And then... Why is he doing this now? What the fuck? Why? He's going Super Saiyan! Father? Two sharp horns poked through his forehead, akin to the demons I had seen in picture scrolls. His eyes were slowly changing to gold, holding an ominous glimmer. What's going on?
我々鬼の真の姿だよ。
Demon's true form?
人との根血が過ぎ、鬼本来の血が薄まった私は、この姿になることなどできんのだが、あの素晴らしい薬、落ち水が、私の中に眠る鬼の血を目覚めさせてくれたのだよ。
素晴らしい. You mean you've drunk the water of life?
ああ、その通りだ。
Words failed me. It felt like I was trapped inside a nightmare. Not only had father been creating furies, but now he himself was a fury as well. He'd taken that vile serum.
鬼本来の力を発揮できるカオル君と私、そして日の光という弱点を克服した羅刹たち。これらが我が手にある今、人間相手の戦で遅れを取ることなどはあるまい。
No! I couldn't believe he'd go this far. My time with the Shinsengumi has taught me a valuable lesson. When many people with differing opinions gathered, it was incredibly difficult to make everyone move as a whole. But wait until this dude finds out about Gatling guns, right? Even with Furies. No, precisely because there would be Furies, there was no possible way things would go exactly as my father planned. Father, please, snap out of this. Do you truly believe that you will be able to easily curry favor with the Imperial Army and eventually usurp power in the process? Hold on, I'm not... I mean, I'm sure. Maybe curry is a verb. I've never seen it used like this before. Curry flavor, yummy. Let's see. Okay. No, that's right. I just seen it on rare occasions. Huh. Even the Shinsengumi had often been frustrated and disillusioned with how the shogunate made use of them. It was hard to believe Father and Kaoru would be capable of holding their own against their human allies. I've seen curry in history books or some shit used in this context. Okay, that would make sense.
もし新政府軍が我々を利用するだけして切り捨てるというので
Hold
あ
on,
れば。
if the Imperial Army ever decides to... That should be ever. That's it's a spelling error drink. Yeah, there's my error.
その時は改めて奴らを始末してやればいいだけのことだ。我々にはそれだけの力があるからね。
What? What? I don't know why this route is... It doesn't happen a lot, but it's like they're breaking up Yukimura. Huh? What? Father's golden eyes beamed with electrifying, almost unrecognizable madness.
さあ、我々と共に来るのだ。純潔の女鬼たるお前が羅刹と交われば、さらに強大な力を持った子が生まれるはず。
Oh, next time. Father, why you gotta say it like that?
そうなれば、我々雪村一族
Taking meds while this guy is up close and personal is a little
女の
wild.
一族の新たな始祖となることができる。我々の一族を見殺しにした西国の鬼たちへの復讐も成し遂げることができるのだよ。
Yeah, I'm really curious about those demons of the West. Father wore a malicious smirk as he extended his hand out towards me. Ah! I tried to run, but Father was right behind me and grabbed my arm in a vice grip. Stop! Let go of me! I desperately tried to shake him off, just as the panic began to set in. The arrow laugh. I can't do it. I can't do it justice.
ヨタ話は大概にしろ。
Yeah, I knew he was gonna come up to save us.
支援に
It's
取り
his
つかれ
crowd
て
after
正気
all.
をなくした者に鬼の一族の子孫など務まるはずがあるまい。
That voice! Excuse me. Kazuma, what are you doing here? I asked, unable to believe my eyes. He responded with a glare, not even trying to hide his displeasure.
それはこちらのセリフだ。今後こやつらには一切関わるなと言っておいたはずだが、なぜお前がここに？
Has Bald Father ever put up a proper fight? Oh fuck, I don't even remember whose route that was. I think it was Soji's actually. But I don't know. That video game really upped his fighting skills. But yeah, I think I do remember he and Soji got in like that one fight at the end of his route. And I think it went on for a bit. Well, I couldn't think of an answer off the top of my head, and so Kazuma shifted his angered gaze towards Father.
まがい者どもを増やすの
Oh,
み
it's
な
a Fury fake drink.
貴様自身も鬼のまがい者となり果てるとは。貴様はよほどこの俺に切り捨てられたいと見える。
Kazuma spat out in a low, bitter tone. He drew his sword in one smooth motion. Yes, Kazuma! Use the power of racism to stop him! Yeah, he is about to get racist. Something about it caught my attention. Rather than reflect light in the room, as a katana normally would, it produced its own shimmering gleam. Oh, okay, I didn't know it did that.
落ち水を飲んだとて、貴様ごときがこの俺と
Did you
対等に
think
戦える
drinking the
とは
water of life would give you two strength to stand up to me?
王道よ。
Yeah, okay, that's a grammar error drink. Father ground his teeth. He seemed to realize that fighting Kazuma would be no easy feat. After a moment... Ah! Father suddenly shoved me towards Kazuma. I braced myself to hit the floor, thinking Kazuma would sidestep to avoid me and charge at Father. Or so I thought. Dude, is she gonna fall into his fucking katana? Oh, okay. Instead, he caught me as if it were the most natural thing to do. Huh? A haw drink. 5 seconds ago, I expected to fall face first to the floor. But now this? Father seized this opportunity to bolt towards the back door. Okay, that should be past tense seized, so that's a grammar drink again.
待て、コード。
Kazuma chased after him, but... Imagining he Naruto ran? Good.
も変わらず小賢しい男だ。
Father had completely disappeared. I flinched as Kazuma turned his cold glare onto me. Thank you for saving me. I bowed my head politely, but the corners of his mouth only twitched in a bitter smile.
礼には及ばぬ。そんなことよりも、先ほどの問いに答えてもらおう。こたびの一件にはもう関わるなという言いつけを、なぜ無視した？
How should I answer? I wanted to help. Yeah, we'll go with that. Kazuma, you brought me all the way back to Edo. I'm not saying I wanted to repay you, but I just wanted to do whatever I could to help.
もし先ほど奴に連れ去られ
Oh
ていた
damn, okay, hold on.
裏の
That's
手間を増
the
やす
wrong
ことだ
answer.
ったな。
Hold on. I'll take a reload drink, but I gotta grab a new drink. Let's see. Alright, so this time I have those beast tea hard tea. Excuse me. It's the original flavor. So I'll reload. Oh wow, yeah, that does taste like tea. This involves me too. Because I am a member of the Yukimura clan. If my father and brother are plotting to commit these heinous crimes, then I can't let the entire burden fall on you.
この間俺が言っていたことを聞いていなかったのか。女鬼は男鬼に比べれば非力だ。
Damn,
お
bro.
前がついてきたところで何の助けにもならん。
I understand that, but if you were in my shoes, Kazuma, would you do as you're told? Could you honestly live with passing on your burden to someone else? Ooh. My question seemed to have caught Kazuma off guard. He gazed at me inquisitively, and together we were silent as the wind rustled branches outside. After a long, awkward pause... Wait, I thought they were outside. So, oh, whatever.
なるほど。雪村の棟梁筋としての自覚が皆無というわけではないようだな。だが、今後はこういった無謀な行動は控えてもらおう。己の力量をわきまえぬ者は棟梁としてふさわしくないからな。
I understand.
目を離した隙にまた連中がお前をさらいに来ると厄介だ。ついてこい。奴らをすべて切り捨てるまでは俺のそばにいろ。
Kazuma spoke indifferently, then turned around to head back into town. Of course, I was still against him murdering my father and brother, but I suppose it was far better than being left alone without any clue of what they were doing. I hurried after Kazuma as we left my house behind. By the time we returned back to the center of town, the sun had set completely. Kazuma led me to an inn he'd reserved for us to stay in and rest. Upon arriving, we were greeted by a familiar face. Ooh? Amagiri was there, waiting for us.
お二人とも
Hooray!
無事で何よりです。して、守備の方はどうだったのですか？
Not who you expected. Yeah, you know, low-key, I was kind of expecting Sen, but it's cool.
皮肉か。
Expecting
俺
Haruda.
の顔を見れば大方の予想
Oh,
は
that's
つく
true,
だろう。
because I think he might have separated from the Shinsengumi at this point. I don't know though.
そんなことより、お前の方はどうだったのだ。
いくつか分かったことがあります。説明に少々時間をいただきますが。
Alright, time to sit down. Sit down and buckle up. Amagiri answered coolly, glancing over at me after he spoke. Was he implying that I needed to step out? Suddenly,
この娘も雪村の血を引くのだ。聞かせてやってもよかろう。無論当人に聞く覚悟があるのならだが。
in typical fashion, Kazuma was speaking about me in a dismissive manner, but he seemed like he would respect my agency, one way or the other, no matter what Amagiri had to say. If it had anything to do with Father and Kaoru, then I couldn't possibly leave. I am ready for whatever it is you have to say. Please continue. Amagiri nodded deeply, taking a deep breath as he began his report.
南雲薫につい
Oh
てで
yeah,
す
of
が、
course.
どうやら彼は今、土佐藩士たちと共に甲府にいるようです。しかも、 行動が改良を加えた新型の羅刹を
Kazuma,
率いて
you may hate the water of life, but you must drink the respect woman juice, right? Especially if you were looking for a demon waifu. A hot demon baddie. Kofu. If I remembered correctly, that's where the Shinsengumi had been headed. If Kaoru was leading a battalion of Furies along with members of the Imperial Army to wherever the Shinsengumi was marching, then it meant
新選組の連中は甲府で新型の羅刹と相まみえることになったというわけか。
はい、その通りです。
I couldn't stop shaking. Would everyone be safe? The Shinsengumi had suffered numerous casualties during the Battle of Toba-Fushimi, and on top of that, Okita, according to Dr. Matsumoto, was still bedridden and in no condition to fight.
今、江戸城では新政府軍と幕府側の交渉が続けられています。
Do you think this will actually be a long report? I don't think it's actually gonna be long. There's no way it's gonna go on and on and on for the game. Unless...
もし交渉決裂ということになれば、
江戸が火の海になることも十分に。
Or maybe it'll skip over the other stuff. It's like, oh yes, and here's what else is happening.
行動や南雲薫にとっては
That will be irrelevant to our
多くの
plot.
父を得るまたとない機会だな。
はい。おそらく羅刹たちを連れ、一刻も早くこの江戸へ戻ろうと考えているはずです。とはいえ、多くの羅刹をかくまうことができる場所は限られていますから。
南雲家とゆかりがある土佐藩が怪しいな。しばらく判定を張り込んでみるか。
I was suddenly drenched in cold sweat, and I couldn't stop shaking. Edo might become an ocean of fire. If so, then the ones to suffer would be the innocent civilians, who had no way of fighting back. It horrified me to imagine sacrificing an entire city to gain power. And to make matters worse, my father would take this opportunity to feed his furies.
こうなると長州側の動きも気にかかる。薩摩の連中には俺の方から忠告しておくつもりだが、長州が行動や南雲薫の口車に乗せられてしまえば、全ては水の泡だ。
知らぬいから伝えてもらいましょう。つなぎをつけてみます。ただ、八瀬の里で会った時以来、戦場でも彼の姿は見かけませんでしたから。
He's just doing his own thing.
もしかすると、もうこの戦には関わっていないのかもしれませんがね。
Almagiri left us with that, bowing lightly as he exited the room. Kazama stood still for a moment before turning to me.
出かけてくる。お前は先に休んでいろ。
Oh, yes. Please be careful.
特別な用事がない限り、お前はみだりに外を出歩かぬようにしろ。昼間のような出来事がまた起きぬとも限らぬからな。
Oh, excuse me. I understand. I saw him off, then went to my room and prepared my bedding. As soon as my head hit my pillow, I fell fast asleep. In my deep slumber, a dream came to me. And watch, it's not actually going to be a dream. What is this, the third time? Oh, wait. I was being dragged out of a familiar home. Oh, okay, it's a flashback. Good thing she's used to being under house arrest. No, right? All I could see were bright red flames reaching high into the sky. A familiar figure, not too far from my own age, was leading me somewhere. Grammar error drink. Wait, where? The burning village evoked a strange feeling of deja vu. Beside us was a small hill where I'd often pick flowers, and the pen that housed our livestock. Oh, your error. Oh, yeah, true. Everything was engulfed in red flames, and from the distance, I heard shrieks of terror. What was going on? Who could possibly do such an awful thing? Were father and mother safe? As my mind swirled with anxiety,
No, nigga. No.
did they? It kind of sounded like they chipmunked Kaoru's voice in that line. Flames blocked our path, encroaching towards us slowly. Just then,
カオル君こちらへ
a voice frantically called out to us. He was one of my relatives.
早くお捕まりなさい
It's Bald Father.
炎に巻かれてしまうぞ
They pitched him up somewhat. Yeah, okay. I did as he instructed, grabbing onto his arm. The man hauled us both into his arms and ran into the safety of the forest.
ここまで来ればもう大丈夫だろう焼け死ぬことはあるまい
おじさん、どうしていきなりこんなことに。俺たちの父様と母様は。
Suddenly, I realized who this boy was. It was my twin brother Kaoru, who totally looked like that back then, at that time. Yeah, their village was in California. Damn, that's crazy.
相当の大火事だったからな諦めるしかあるまい
And this man was...
それにしても人間たちはなんとむごいことをするのか倒幕の誘いを断られたからといって静かに暮らしていた我々の
Damn, that really does suck,
火を
though.
かけるなど
On that night, a distant relative had saved us from being burned alive. He later assumed the role of my father and raised me. Kodo Yukimura. Why couldn't they just leave the village? I think when this fire or prior to the fire happening, I don't think they really expected this to happen. I don't know. Yeah, they do have superhuman powers, but I think maybe it's hard for them to set up a village because, you know, they have to keep running away and go into hiding. I don't know. When I awoke, tears were streaming down my cheeks. Oh, she cried. That's a drink. This was a memory I'd buried deep within me. Now it was all coming back. That night, our village was set on fire, and my beloved parents were murdered. Sen ruling over her perfectly intact town. Skill issue. Okay, true. Kaoru had told me before. He would rule over the humans that had destroyed our village. Father made one thing abundantly clear. Continuing to allow humans to rule would only produce more orphans like Kaoru and myself. I did not think that utilizing Furies to gain control over the humans was right, but I also realized that I couldn't simply declare it to be wrong either. Like, okay. Like, at least how he's presenting, Baldfather kind of, like, his reasoning, you know, it makes sense. Like, there's still, like, that bit of morality to it, instead of it just being all like, oh yeah, I want to take over Japan, or, like, you know, just the typical evil dude shit. But, you know, he doesn't want any more orphans to be made, and, you know, that's fair. Yes, the world must be ruled by the patriots. The Lalilule Lo? A knock at my door snapped me out of my stupor.
すみません起きてらっしゃいますか
Wait, what? From the other side of the door, I heard the inn's attendant calling out to me. Okay, stupor is a funny word. I know, huh? So close to stupid. Oh, yes. What is it?
お客さんがいらしてますが
お通ししてもよろしいでしょう
No,
か
don't. It might be Baldfather. Excuse me, right? I almost thought this guy was Baldfather. Kind of sounds like the same voice actor. A guest? Who could it be now? No, Yukimura, no. You know the last time that happened. One moment, please. Just let me put my bedding away. Dog, don't fucking answer it. After I tidied up my room, the attendant slid open the door and ushered in my surprise visitor. A moment, please. Oh, okay. It's just
なん
Shiruma.
だよ。ここにいるのはお前だけか
Okay, we're good. Shiranui, what are you doing here?
天霧の旦那から呼び
Oh, I thought he was gonna be like, oh, I live here, duh.
俺様としたことが間が悪かったみてえだな。
It would appear so. Amagiri seems to have been very busy recently. Anyone looking for her would have just shown up in her room either way, probably. That's true. I don't know. Maybe she could have been like, I'm not expecting any guests. However, I believe Kazuma will be returning momentarily.
そっか。そんじゃ少しばかり待たせてもらうかな。
Shiranui studied my room meticulously, and eyeing a spot to sit, plopped himself on the floor. I watched nervously as he pulled his pistol from its holster and inspected it carefully for any smudges.
なんだ
Is it true that Edo might be the center of the next battle soon? I'm worried about something Kazuma said, that it might be engulfed in flames soon. As I expressed my concerns, Shiranui suddenly froze, holding his pistol still in his hand.
まあ、そうなることは十分考えられるだろうな。
No! But Shogunate supporters and soldiers aren't the only ones living here. How can they just let that happen? Does the Imperial Army truly believe the citizens will obey them if they do such a thing? The vivid memory of my village consumed by fire struck me once more. If Edo were similarly engulfed in flames, then hundreds of people would burn to death. This time, there wouldn't be only 2 orphans. Hundreds, no thousands, of children would be displaced, if not worse. Imagine if she didn't have amnesia, right? She'd be like, maybe she'd be a little edgier.
少し落ち着けよ。
Calm down, drink.
そうならねえよ。今江戸城で薩摩と幕府のお偉いさん同士が
I think this can has some texture on it. Yeah, there's like an eye, and it's like painted so that it looks like the eye is kind of broke part of the can, like it's peeling away, and where it's peeled away, it feels like there's texture. Thousands of orphans, only if they're sloppy about the cleanup, huh?
新選組の連中もうまいこと江戸から遠ざけたしな。
Oh, they moved again. Huh? Damn, and the music stopped too. That you know it's like, oh shit. Huh drink. I didn't grasp the significance behind what Shiranui had said at first, and I prompted him to clarify. What do you mean by that?
なんだ知らなかったのか幕府側は江戸を火の海になんざしたくねえんだ。ああいう後先考えねえバカどもは遠くに追いやっておくに越したことはねえだろうが。新選組の連中は尊攘派の奴らから恨みを買ってるしな。
Shiranui revealed that the shogunate hadn't sent the Shinsengumi on a mission to tackle imperial army forces in Kofu after all. Rather, the shogunate had sent them away from Edo so that they wouldn't get in the way of negotiations with the Sacho. And even worse, Furies were waiting for them there. As I put the pieces together, I nearly fainted.
何やら話し声がすると思えば来ていたのか知らない。
てめえらが呼びつけといてその言い草かよ。こう見えても俺様も暇じゃねえんだぜ。
貴様に2、3聞きたいことがある。さして手間は取らせぬ。
Kazuma recounted what had occurred to Shiranui. He mentioned encountering my father in Edo, and described in great detail father's plot to gather blood in order to feed his army of Furies. Wonder if this has any basis in history. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, the Shinsengumi part, sure. I don't know about these guys. Good question. The most crucial detail, however, was father's proposition to use this army of Furies to manipulate the Choshu into doing his bidding.
なるほど。話は分かった。
どうなのだ。長州側は奴らの誘いに乗ると思うか。
The reasoning for sending the Shinsengumi out there to avoid having them spoil negotiations. Oh, that. I don't know. Maybe there is some basis to it.
あいつらがそんな下道の策に乗るはずねえだろうって言いてえところだが、今長州の軍を動かしてる大村って男は高杉とは別の意味でぶっ飛んでる野郎だな。
What do you mean by crazy?
一言で言うと戦の天才ってのか、西洋の本で軍学を学んだだけなのに一度も戦に負けたことがねえって男だ。人間の世界の歴史が大きく動くときは決まってそういう奴らが何人も現れるんだよな。
Wasn't he the one in charge of the army during the second Choshu expedition?
ああ、その大村と俺が護衛してた高杉って男だ。
During the second Choshu expedition, the shogunate commanded an army of over 150,000 soldiers, but in the end, they were unable to step so much as a foot in Choshu and were forced to retreat. If the one responsible for that decisive victory was now at the helm of Choshu's entire army, then would the shogunate soldiers, much less the Shinsengumi, have any chance of survival?
大村ならたとえ羅刹だろうが勝てるなら使うって言い出さねえとも限らねえ。何せ今回の戦には薩摩との手柄争いって面もあるからよ。
At one point, the Satsuma and Choshu domains had been locked in a fierce rivalry of their own. Once the Tokugawa had been toppled for good, one could see how they might start fighting over control of the country. The only thing Kazuma hated more than mankind was its greed, and he made no secret of his disdain. Shiranui, please. You must convince the Choshu not to use the Furies. Excuse me, neither humans nor demons can handle them. Even if they win the war, it's only a matter of time until they bring this country to ruin.
わかってるって。
Shiranui, please.
長州はまがいものを使わなきゃ戦に勝てねえなんて思われるのも心外だしな。
It has to be Kazuma specifically referring to the Furies as fake, so we can't drink for that.
あとのことは俺様に任せとけ。
頼りにしていいの？
The way he said I know with that smile. True.
てめえ、少しは鬼の仲間を信じやがれ。
It sickens you to my stomach.
用事はそれだけだな。じゃあ、俺はそろそろ退散させてもらうぜ。
Shiranui delicately placed his pistol back into its holster, smirking wryly as he stood up. Without another word, he sauntered out of the room. A few days later, we received word that the tense negotiations between leaders of the Satsuma, Choshu, and the shogunate had concluded. Hoping to avoid further losses, the shogunate peacefully surrendered control of Edo Castle over to the Sacho. To my relief, Edo and its citizens were spared a catastrophic outcome. Unfortunately, word of the surrender came long after the Shinsengumi had already departed Edo for Kofu. I later learned that neither Nagakura nor Harada were seen amongst the Shinsengumi's ranks. That's an amongst string. As for Okita, His condition had worsened to the point that merely holding his sword was enough to exhaust him. My curiosity was driving me up the wall, and I wanted to know exactly what was happening, but womp womp womp, right? Dr. Matsumoto was very busy, and letters from him were becoming fewer and farther between. Around that time, rumors that Kondo had surrendered to the Imperial Army spread all through Edo, and so April came around.
Tosa 藩邸に身を隠している行動らに動きがあった。
He is?
向かう先は上野ですか？
おそらくはな。今、この江戸で多くの血を得られそうな場所といえば他にあるまい。江戸を火の海にして多くの血を得るつもりだったのに、当てが外れ、行動たちも焦っているはずだからな。
Speaking of Ueno, the Shogi Company, which was a force comprised of former Bakushin, were supposedly holed up over there. I was sure that Father and the Furies were after their blood.
我々と共に来るつもりはあるか。
Ooh, Scion of the Yukimura. I like that. Kazuma's eyes flickered to me, almost as if he was testing me. I had made up my mind long ago. I am going. Allow me to join you. Kazuma stared at me for a brief moment before relenting. Oh, oops, hold on. I thought that was it. Just in case there's a little more of the line. Oh, okay. Yeah. His curt response was all I needed. When Kazuma and I last spoke about matters concerning my father, he was dead set on prohibiting me from getting involved, but because the shogunate had surrendered their control of Edo Castle, there was no fear of all-out war breaking out. If Furies could no longer be used as leverage in shifting the tide of an approaching civil war, then perhaps my father would see the error of his ways. I wrestled with these thoughts as Kazuma continued.
羅刹のうち半数ほどはすでに上野へ向かっているはずだ。
Press X to doubt. Yeah, huh?
上野には長州藩士たちと共に知らぬいがいるはずです。
あの知らぬいがまがいものごときに殺されることはないだろうが、行動たちを片付けたらすぐに奴のところへ向かうぞ。
Understood. And so, in the dead of night, as the city peacefully slept, we arrived at the Tosa Domain's official residence. Overstood. Ooh. It was eerily silent around the building's perimeter. The building itself seemed to be covered by an ominous miasma.
人の姿が見当たらぬな。もしや、もう上野へ向かった後か。
Oh, Kazuma, look! Over there! A shadow crawled atop of the building's outer wall. There was no way I could have mistaken it. You played Slay the Spire 2 a bit at your dad's house, but sadly lost your 2 runs. Aw, man. Oh, damn. That sucks. But yeah, I know it's kind of frustrating when you lose runs. It's like, ooh, you get far and then I tried so hard. He must have noticed our presence, and he leapt down from the building to greet us. Oh, fuck off. The third area boss experiment thing that revives twice. Oh yeah, fuck that guy. Oh man. Kaoru! He ended your run as the guy who sits in the chair. Oh! Oh, that guy. Damn. Yeah, it's like, oh man. It's like, you gotta fight 2 more versions? Oh wait, you were playing the Defect. Oh, okay. The Defect is my bro, but yeah. guy who sits in the chair was a previous run. Yeah, both cool characters. Yeah, I think I like if I had to order who I like playing, it would be Defect, the one with Osti, the silent guy in the chair, and then the warrior dude. But yeah, I got lucky because the cards that I had as the Defect, there was a card where I think I explained it before, but it's like it had like a card where you could replay, or like at the end of your turn you can draw a card, and then I also had a plasma orb, like a plasma orb or 2 plasma orbs on me, where it's just like, you know, they'll give you more energy, and then I had cards that would give you even more energy. So I got to maybe at least I think it was, well, it was something like 15 or 18 energy, and I could just keep playing cards. So that really helped me win. But man, at least you got as far as the 3rd act though. But yeah, that guy can be tough. Is he the only Act 3 boss? Because I've only ever seen him for Act 3. Like at this point. There's the Hourglass Fuck too. Okay, I've never seen that guy. Damn. Kazuma kept his guard raised, glaring at Kaoru without humoring his sarcasm. There's a 3rd one too. Okay. Excuse me, it's so weird. I've only ever seen the experiment one.
今日は何の用で来たんだ？その2人と一緒に来たってことはろくな用事じゃなさそうだけど。
I wasn't sure if either Kaoru or father were interested in hearing me out, but if I gave up on trying, Kazuma would murder them without question. Moreover, no matter what happened, you had a relic that guarantees a random power card from your deck into your starting hand and for free. Ooh, yeah, that's nice. I had a responsibility to talk some sense into them. Your power card was +3 orb slots. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah. I like that one. Kazuma, please give me one more chance to convince them. Kazuma shifted his line of sight to me begrudgingly, taking his time to decide. Thank you. I felt a huge pang of relief, and after thanking Kazuma, I turned to face Kaoru. I want you and father to hear me out. Kaoru gazed at me coldly, pursing his lips. Oh, that comma shouldn't have been there, that one at the end, to grab her a drink. You took another power card that is -1 orb slot +3 strength, +3 dex, which you took because of the synergy, but ultimately shouldn't have because there's a 50% chance each combat you wouldn't draw the extra orb one. Yeah, that is true.
立ち話もなんだし、中に入りなよ。行動おじさんも待ちわびてるからさ。
来てくれたのだね。
Yeah, I remember this backdrop. They used it in Sakamoto's route when we were in the evil Kakyoin's palace or whatever. Father. I knew that he wasn't the father I once knew, but seeing his kind smile, just as it used to be, made my heart ache. Even if we weren't related by blood, he'd raised me as his own daughter. I cursed myself for being so weak, stood tall, and addressed the two of them. Kind of embarrassing that you lost even though you had the relic that revives you at 50% HP. Ooh, that's a good relic too. Damn. I'd be like that sometimes. I remembered what happened when I was little. Not much though. I remember how the humans burned our village, our peaceful home, to the ground, and how both of you were there to pull me away from the fire and help me run away. It was that third boss, third phase, so won't lose sleep over it. Oh, okay, true. Ah, damn though. So close. I shook my head at him. It's not about me. I know the two of you have been bearing this pain all these years. After all that's happened, I can't blame either of you for holding onto your grudge against humanity. Kaoru attempted to interject, and I could have sworn I watched his expression begin to soften. But knowing all this, I still want you to stop using the Furies. Oh! Yeah, ooh, no, this is not gonna be good. It was never gonna be good. As soon as I mentioned the last part, both Kaoru and Father froze in shock. I know Kaoru's fucking face is like, ooh, this is super shock. Luckily, we were able to avoid the terrors of war in Edo. Why do you seek further strife and bloodshed? I'm sure neither of you want to recreate the same nightmare we've had to endure, do you? It's funny that he moves his mouth, but he's not actually saying anything. I mean, the hijacker was like, obviously there's no sound bit for that. Strike should be strife. Oh yeah? Oh, okay, grab my error drink then. I trust. A forlorn expression covered Father's face. Kaoru, on the other hand, glared at me coldly. What? Here we go again. Why didn't Kaoru just stick with Baldfather? I think Baldfather was actually the one that gave him to the Nagumo clan. I think it was for a deal, but I don't remember if that actually was the reason. That's what I'm remembering. Listening to Kaoru made my heart sink. All that time I was living peacefully with Father in Edo. Kaoru was forced to endure a miserable life without love or compassion. While I sympathized with his terrible circumstances. What do you want, brother? Do you want to use the Furies to rebuild the Yukimura clan? Is that what you really want? Dog, that's not what I asked! Poor Kaoru. Cursed to be an edgelord, right? Each word Kaoru spoke broke off another piece of my heart as his festering resentment came to light. Maybe the only thing that could give him any kind of salvation. Baldfather's like, hey, yo, you good, bro? Would be if he exacted revenge on every person that ever harmed or wronged him in the past. Kazuma stepped in front of me all of a sudden. He didn't even look at me as he spoke. You know shit's going down when that music stops. Excuse me.
Sagare.
Kazuma. Just as I feared, the time had finally come. Kazuma decided he'd had enough, and was moving towards killing Father and Kaoru. You know, technically that comma doesn't need to be there. I'll take that as a grammar urging. This is just, you know, technicalities. I just want to drink. It's time to duel. Oh my god, someone said Baldfather, so you have to show up. We summoned Anthony. How are we doing today? As you can tell, we're doing a drinking game stream, so if you'd like to take part with an alcoholic beverage or a non-alcoholic beverage, we'll let you know when to drink. Kazuma,
下がれと言っているのだ。
He barked at me sternly, and I did as he commanded. He reached his hand towards the hilt of his sword. In one swift movement, he drew it. It glowed with a faint light, as if shining with Kazuma's fighting spirit. Oh, the Demon Slayer, huh? Hold on. I want to see the description for this one. If it does indeed exist, it was a sword forged by the master swordsmith Yasusuna during the Heian period. Legend has it that it killed the demon Shuten Doji. If it does exist, dude, we're looking at it. You'll break out the Everclear? Oh dang, dude. Alright.
本気で俺たちを殺すつもりなんだろう。
決まっている。
ならこっちも。
Ooh, okay. Are we gonna get a good fight here?
答えさせてもらうよ。
Kaoru slipped his hand into his pocket and took something out. Oh no, it was... Was that... the water of life? Why would my brother be using that? No! Oh yeah, okay, Fury fake drink.
No, nigga.
God damn it, Kaoru.
No. No.
お前と俺の誇りの形が違うだけさ。
No.
何があってもここでお前に殺されてやるわけにはいかないんだ。
Man, it was so funny back in the day when just every time we'd have like, you know, Kendrick no moment, I had to look up the video on YouTube before the sound alert existed. Oh man, that was good times. Is that Misato's bathwater? Dibs. Yeah, it is. You can have it. Brother, no! Or the good old days after 9/11. That's true. I didn't really do that one too, like, as much. Plus, I had the video saved. No, it's a different vibe when it's like, oh, I have to search the Kendrick video up on YouTube. I sprinted towards Kaoru to snatch the serum away from him, but... My brother pushed me away harshly, sending me falling to the floor. Damn, again? That was too late. No! No, you fool! Hold on, wait, hold on, I gotta hear that again. It sounded like he was hiccuping at the end there. My brother gripped his chest as he moaned in anguish. The vial slipped from his hand and rolled across the floor. I still hold my phone to the mic for seriously. If it's... Because we have a seriously sound bit, but if someone says seriously, like as part of a line in the game, I still hold my phone up for that. But, you know, chat can now also willingly pull that up whenever they feel like it. Kill him while he's transforming, right? Like no one ever gets that, you know, that sense. Like, just fucking do. It's like any form of media. When a villain's transforming or monologuing, they don't just fucking go for the kill. Like, come on. Just then. You know, this feels very endgame. This can't be the last chapter, right? Oh god. I saw something like a bright white flame. White drink. Kaoru's eyes suddenly turned gold and horns emerged from his forehead. My twin brother, Kaoru Nagumo, had drunk the water of life and became a fury. Do I mind Watchmen spoilers? I don't mind. I'm not gonna watch it or anything. But for the stream, for the VOD, people, viewers, mute for a little bit for the Watchmen spoilers upcoming. Well, I don't know when Jacob's comment's gonna go through. Mute when I say spoilers. If you bind. Kazuma muttered coolly under his breath. All of a sudden, an aura emanated from Kazuma as his body shape-shifted, revealing his true demon self. They were like two white flames as they lunged at each other. It's another white drink. The thunderous clang of their blades echoed in my ear. Wait, I thought Kaoru was also a pure-blooded demon. So can't he just also go into demon form like Kazuma is? Like, he doesn't need the water of life, right? I don't know. Their agility was impossible for the human eye to follow.
見える見えるよお前の動きが
Remember Team 4-Star made that joke when Frieza was transforming and Piccolo told Krillin to use his Kenzan and he's like, oh yeah. Oh yeah! Funny stuff. It's funny when people doing parodies and stuff do call that out. Oh, okay, so Watchmen spoilers. At the climax, the villain starts monologuing to the protags about his plan. And they're like, we'll stop you! And he says, I wouldn't have monologued if I hadn't. I already done it 37 minutes ago. Oh, that's funny. Sparks flew as their sharp swords cracked into one another. I totally forgot Amagiri was with us. Ugh, oh man, oh, the knuckle cracks. Amagiri called out to Father, dropping into a low fighting stance. Feel like I'd enjoy the Watchmen comic. Yeah? You've read the comic, never seen the movie. Okay. Well, I will keep that in mind. I might like it. Yeah, maybe I'll add it to my list then. Let's see, my reading list. Where is my reading list? There it is. Okay. There. Maybe Kaoru needs the power up because he ain't as good of a swordsman? Maybe. It's a depressing read. That hasn't stopped me before, bro. What do you think I read? Like, all the media that I consume, there's a lot of depressing stuff, so it's cool. I appreciate the heads up, though. The movie is the standard Zack Snyder wank fest. Avoid that. Okay, noted. Wank fest. It does suck. Like, it sucks. It's like, oh yeah, you got there's like a comic or, you know, a book, and it's gonna be made into a movie, and it's like, whoa. And then the adaptation, you know, it's a totally different vibe. Father snapped his fingers. From behind us, I heard the ominous creak of doors all sliding open. Now, this route really likes using ominous. You'd let me borrow the graphic novel if I weren't 1,000 miles away. That's fair. Damn, I know, dude. One of us has to move. At least we got the one variation of the Ligma Balls meme out of it. Oh! Huh. I've probably seen the variation, but I'm not... interesting. Greatest nap of all time. I was wondering what happened to Goblin, but okay. Well, I hope... Well, I mean, it sounded like you had a good nap, so good. I'm glad you had a good nap. Or a great nap. Within seconds, our worst fears were realized. Boing, boing. Boing, boing. Didn't even realize till you woke up. Yeah, I know how I hate when it's like you fall asleep and then you wake up and it's like, what? I fell asleep? Oh, man. It happens too often for me. We suddenly found ourselves surrounded by a bevy of hungry red eyes. Like how the first Fury to talk had his mouth mostly obscured by a sword. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Oh, you know what? That's a Fury Bloodlust drink, technically. I'll drink for that. Can't remember the last time you saw the word bevy. I know, me too. No one really uses it that much. Amagiri was the first to react, throwing fast kicks and punches at the Furies funneling into the room, but... They closed in on Amagiri, as if they didn't feel any pain. Amagiri had the advantage of battle experience and superior physical strength, but... there was little he could do against their overwhelming numbers. Amagiri! Kazuma! Fearing for their safety, I grabbed a hold of my Kodachi in order to join them in the fight. Suddenly, however, I was grabbed from behind! Whoa! No! Yeah, no, this can't be endgame, right? Of course they're gonna escape. We're only on, what, chapter 2? Father!
What
do you mean? No one said I wasn't part of the Yukimura clan? Oh my god, shut up. No! Let me go! I attempted to wrestle myself out of Father's grip, but he forcibly pinned both of my arms behind my back, making it impossible to break free. Father, what do you plan on doing with me after you take me away? Don't tell me. Don't tell me you expect me to bear children with Furies! Ah! Oh my god, no! Yukimura will return in Endgame. I hate when he says shit like this. At first, I couldn't believe these words were coming out of the mouth of the man who raised me as his daughter. If all went according to his plan, then the casualties wouldn't be limited to our country alone. Bored to shit, forced to wipe. Oh man. This affliction could potentially spread around the world, devastating countless innocent lives. I couldn't bear to let my life amount to this. I must end this. My eyes flicked down to my waist, and I struggled in Father's arms to grab my Kodachi, but with both my arms still pinned, I had no hope of drawing it. Father attempted to pry the Kodachi away from me. Kazuma ordered in a voice as cold as ice. What kind of evil shit is this guy doing? Oh, the super evil shit. But Father seemed to have no intention of listening. Kazuma's gaze flickered to me, as if telling me what he was about to do. I nodded, duh! That has to be the most obvious fucking answer. Here. I had tried so many times to get through to Father. I poured my heart out, and still, he refused to listen. At some point, I had to accept the truth. We were walking on paths that would never cross. She tried so hard, and got so far, but in the end, it didn't even matter. He's replacing straws with paper straws. He must be stopped. Ah! Yeah, I know, like, I get it. I get that, you know, people are like, oh yeah, let's save the environment, but paper straws are just so uncomfortable to use. That's oddly specific. I mean, I get it. Unfortunately, it left us with no other choice. I looked Kazuma in the eye and nodded firmly. Judging by his wry smile, it seemed Kazuma understood everything. Paper straws are the work of the devil. Yeah, right. The paper straw thing was just a distraction from the fact that the fishing industry is responsible for 50% of the world's plastic waste. Right, that is a good point. Like, yeah, we're still dealing with that problem. I appreciated Kazuma's curt sentiment, but no. I too am a demon of the Yukimura clan. Let me witness his final moments. Yay! You scanned your brain for vile things and thought of paper straws. They get so soggy quickly it drives you crazy. Yeah, and it's a little harder to suck through them. It's like, oh man. Basically, it's the public's fault. Please don't pay attention to us corporations. No, that's true. If the turtles eat it all up, we'd have no more plastic waste. The true solution is curly straws. True. Yeah, see, they're cool. They're cool and, like, a lot of them are reusable, so, like, why not? Kazuma said this for my benefit, but I would never regret this. If this was the fate of Kaoru, father, and myself, if this was the end of the Yukimura clan, no, it's not the end of the Yukimura clan, because he's gonna keep you alive, obviously. Then I, who shared their blood, must accept that consequence and see it through to the end. Scientists have made bacteria that eats plastic, but don't know why it hasn't been released or whatever. Maybe it's not ready yet, I don't know. There might be some flaws. Oh, yeah, or put yourself in the mind of the shareholders. It could be a plot. It could be a whole ploy. Yeah, curly straws for the win. Kazuma raised his sword arm high and lunged straight towards my father. My father seemed to realize that there was no escape. His eyes glowed menacingly, and he focused his fury powers within himself. We just need one mad scientist to solve everything. True? Or why not multiple? Father broke away from me to charge towards Kazuma. Remember in the 90s when 7-Eleven had curly straws for Slurpees with the frozen brain attached since you get brain freeze? You know, I think I vaguely remember that. Oh, man, that is funny. They should bring that back. But it was no use. The true answer is we go back to drinking from gourds with straps to wrap over our shoulders. Hey, I'm all for that. That'd be pretty cool, honestly. And you can refill them. Yeah, it's like portable and stuff. Their difference in power was palpable. Kazuma swung his sword at the speed of light, effortlessly cutting a fatal wound onto Father's body. A second later... Yeah, I felt that. Hold on a minute, when did Kazuma switch back to normal form? Father let one last desperate cry of agony and dropped lifelessly to the floor. Kazuma flicked the blood off his sword, then sheathed it with a cold finality. Father! Just as I was about to reach for his dead body, thought gourds were for carrying around sand for your jutsu. I mean, true, you could also do that. All of the color left his skin. Oh, it's a character death drink. As I watched, his body crumbled into ash. Oh damn, they even have the ash blowing away sound effect. It was blown away with the breeze, leaving nothing in its wake. They literally sell those nowadays, but they're made of metal and the straps are nylon for whatever reason. Oh, huh. Interesting. Low-key, I still want one, but... Father. My father was dead. The man who raised me, whom I dearly loved, had gone somewhere I couldn't follow. Yeah, so demons and then the lesser demons, or like the Furies you could say, or I mean, well, lesser demons you could say more like, but anyways, when they die, they turn to ash. So yeah, basically, he has indeed been Thanos snapped. I thought I'd been prepared for this, but it still felt hollow, like some important part of me had simply disappeared. Bring back the days where everything cloth was made of hemp. Yeah. I know, huh? Yeah, we should go back to those days. Damn, Jacob, why you always want to make me sound racist? Chill, you know what I mean? I mean, hell, in the game they're actually all like, yeah, they're lesser. They're not real, true demons. It didn't feel real. Where had it all gone? Or where had it all gone wrong? My knees buckled, and without saying a word, Kazuma drew me in close to his chest. Oh. Kazuma. I know it's probably gonna zoom out for the full picture, but we'll take a CG drink, and also she's crying, so that's 2 drinks. Did Kaoru just get wrecked off screen? I don't think so. They didn't say anything. Maybe he did though, because it would make sense, but also, we're only in chapter 2. There has to be more. Maybe Kaoru's the real big enemy of this route. You saw one of those, the Virgin, the Chad memes saying Virgin Thanos snap, Chad third impact. Nice. It's giving Don't Worry Kitten. Oh my god. Discord mod Kazuma. I mean, true. Honestly, like, for all the other routes, Kazuma definitely do be giving off Discord mod vibes, but like, he's been pretty decent this whole route, honestly. I couldn't bear to look up at him. Whatever Kazuma had on his mind was an enigma to me, but for now, I allowed myself to take a moment of solace from this one kindness he extended me. I didn't feel ready to stand on my own 2 feet just yet. What happened to my brother? Did you... What did I want to say? Kill him? The words wouldn't form in my mouth. Oh yeah, see, okay, he's not dead. Yeah, the game would always tell us when someone dies. The inner machinations of Kazuma's mind are an enigma. The thought bubble of the water of life falling over. I know every time I see, like, when I see the word enigma, I think of that fucking SpongeBob line. Yeah, man, SpongeBob just has such a big influence. Like, it's so quotable. And, like, you know, it's affected a lot of our minds. Okay, well he's gotta really take care of him soon. Kazuma spoke as if he was trying to put me at ease, but Kaoru would likely never heal. That was the fact hidden within his words. Father was such a kind man. I barely noticed the tears sliding down my cheeks. He was a humble, generous man. He cared so much for his patients and always strived to better himself. I was proud to call him my father. Random, but found the Yui meme you mentioned yesterday, put it in audience chat. Oh, let me see. Let me see while I'm here. Oh, yep, there it is. Such a weird meme, right? Like, how did that even become a meme? For so many years, we lived as just the 2 of us. It was peaceful, far from anything like this. Excuse me. Remembering the days when we were happy only brought a fresh wave of tears. Why did he change so much? There was a resentful undertone lurking underneath Kazuma's hushed voice. Kazuma was unashamedly proud to be a demon. and he had always considered humans to be inferior. For Kazuma, I could only imagine how difficult it must have been to murder one of his own kin. Yeah, the meme funny, haha. It's fine. I understand. Although humans were responsible for the death of my people, Father and Kaoru chose to let it consume them to the point of no return. They chose their own path. I knew that, but I'm just so heartbroken. I sobbed so hard that my eyes began to burn. Kazuma's arms tightened around me. Some humans are evil, I know, but not all of them. Tears dripped into my mouth as I spoke shakily. There are so many of them who commit their lives to pursuits other than power and money. The Shinsengumi at least weren't fighting for such selfish motives. Hashtag not all humans, right? I wanted to know where they were headed. I wanted to go after them. Now that I had lost Father, those feelings grew even stronger. Oh, dang, okay, the CG didn't zoom out.
そろそろ上野の方でも戦いが終わる頃合いか。
相手が羅刹とはいえ、あの白縫いが遅れを取ることはないと思いますが。援護に。
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought I thought he was done talking.
あの白縫いが遅れを取ることはないと思いますが。援護に向かいますか。
But you didn't have to cut me off. Can we get more typos, right? Where are my drinks? Please, anything, just get me a drink. Kazuma nodded towards Amaguri before turning to face me once more.
お前は先に宿へ戻っていろ。
What? I can't just let you two handle this alone.
その死人のような顔で何ができるというのだ。さっさと宿に戻り体を休めておけ。いいな。
I was deeply concerned with the outcome of the battle in Ueno, but Kazuma was trying to make sure I was safe. Yes, I did as he told me and returned to the inn. After hours of waiting, Kazuma finally returned.
上野にいたまがい者どもは
Fury fake drink, there we go.
片付けたそうだ。新選組の連中を追うつもりならば旅支度をしておけ。
He spoke curtly, leaving me with that as he exited my bedroom. The next day, I returned to my childhood home on the outskirts of Edo. As I snuck inside, my eyes were drawn to a chest full of Father's belongings, including some of his old clothes and medical tools. I wanted to cry, but there was no time for tears. No, Yukimura, it's okay to cry. Give me another drink. I grabbed an armful of my belongings and swiftly packed them into my satchel for safekeeping. I was startled by the creak of the front door. As I peeked my head out, I saw... Whoa! Okay, I know that they showed him in Western clothing, but why is he wearing Western clothing? What is the purpose? I nearly didn't recognize him. I was struck speechless by how different he looked. His new Western-style outfit was tight-fitting, expensive-looking, and very becoming. Oh, I couldn't help but stare at him. Yes, let's match. Yeah, look at him. I like that pattern on the sides. Oh, no! There would be no occasion for me to wear them. I don't need them. Besides, they look a little uncomfortable. Whoa. Yeah, you have no choice, Yukimura. Oh no, I couldn't.
俺がお前に送りたいと思っているから送るのだ。つまらぬ遠慮などするな。
In a Western town, a dead-end world, the Eastern boys and Western girls. Western girls. I love that song. Also JoJo reference. There. Okay, hold on. Do you guys remember that Vine? Well, I don't. This one's kind of obscure, but there's a Vine. It's set to that song, and it's this lady, and I think she has a wide brim hat on, and she's like she's dancing to the song. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's crumping. I don't think that's the dance move. Not quite a twerk either, but you know, she's kind of like just not shaking her ass or anything, but it's just like, you know, she's kind of she's moving her booty to the music. I don't know, and like she's like at the beach, like one of those rocky beaches. I don't know, that it's such an oddly specific Vine, but there's a card in Slay the Spire 2 where one of the Regent minions is twerking. Oh, what the fuck? I haven't gotten that card. That's so funny. Barely remember any Vines. It's been so long. I know, huh? Fuck. Can you believe that was like... That's been more than 10 years ago. Like, that's crazy. I miss Vine. Yeah, no, I have a lot of Vines remembered. Because I used to... I didn't even have a Vine account, but, you know, I used to see them all the time because they... You know, people would repost them on YouTube or Tumblr or whatever, and it's like, ah, oh, funny. Oh. Huh? What people? Hot drink. The days of watching YouTube Vine compilations. Right? Me? I followed Kazuma outside into the front yard, still overrun with weeds, and there stood... Oh, Shiranui. You're the person waiting for us? Although I had clearly addressed him, Shiranui ignored me. Yeah, his eyes look kind of funky. You actually made some vines. Wish you saved them. Damn, dude. I know, I feel like that... Like, another vine that I really want to look for. Like, there was this Vine account. I think they went by Jonathan or something, because Jonathan Joestar. They did a whole bunch of JoJo Vines. You know that one Vine of there's this kid and fuck, I don't know what you call those things. They're kind of like these moving foam structures, kind of like it's like there's 4 pillars attached to it and it moves and you have to try to dodge them, like either like usually try to duck under them or maybe jump over them, but the not pole, the branches, I don't know what you call them, but you'd have to dodge the thing basically. But this kid gets hit from behind and like so many songs would be used over it. Like I think I remember We're Soaring, Flying from High School Musical, but fuck, I don't even remember what JoJo song it was anymore. It might have been Sonochi no Sadame, like when it cuts the chorus, or not cuts to, but when the chorus plays, and as soon as the kid gets hit, it plays that like the chorus. Like it was so fucking funny. Yeah, the big inflatable pillar things, those things. Yeah. Man, like I don't see, like my memory is fading now. It's like I really wanted to find this Vine, but it's gone forever. I wish Vine had like some kind of archive so, you know, these Vines wouldn't be lost to time if you didn't save them. He merely stared at me sternly. Excuse me, did something happen? Yet again, he didn't respond, choosing instead to chew on his lips as he chose his words carefully. Oh, yeah, oh that's right, Shiranui had a thing for Harada. Of course. Harada looked after me when I lived with the Shinsengumi. I was confused as to why Shiranui would mention him. As I considered the possibilities, it hit me. It felt as though I had been struck with an arrow to the chest. No, it couldn't be. Was Harada... I tried to cast these thoughts away, but Shiranui spoke up. No! Harada, no! Oh, fuck. Well, that's a character death drink. God damn it. Shit, I don't think he usually dies at that part either. Oh, that sucks. What? Rest in peace. Even though I had braced myself for the possibility, nothing could soften the blow of the truth. Why would... Harada... Dr. Matsumoto had mentioned something about Harada leaving the Shinsengumi. You know, it's interesting that they never actually showed Dr. Matsumoto. It's like Yukimura, you know, yeah, she has contact with him, but we never actually see him. Not an arrow to the knee! Oh, man. Classic. It's crazy that that meme's considered a classic now. I had no idea he was involved in the battle at Ueno.
行動たちの動きを探ってた時、偶然あいつに声をかけられたな。
And you never told me.
こっちの事情を明かしたら、変な義教心にでも駆られやがったのが。急に俺と一緒に羅刹と。
He's starting repeating. Okay, yeah, that's a definite grammar error drink.
俺が気に入ったやつってのは、どうしてすぐに死んじまうんだろうな。
Damn, that sucks. Even as Shiranui was telling me all this, I still couldn't believe that Harada was truly dead. I had nothing to say. All I could do was stand there, numb. I've become so numb! Harada, the epitome of bravery and manliness. Although to others, it seemed like he was rough around the edges. He was always so incredibly kind to me. Shit, that's right. He got a lot of the... He got a lot of the, you know, alternate CGs like, ooh, yeah, you got the little romance bloom moon thingy. Man. Bethesda made a tweet saying, we're definitely working on Elder Scrolls 6, guys. Cool, Skyrim came out in 2011, but take your time, no worries, Todd, right? Yeah, it's cool. Todd. Yes. However, news of Harada's death would prove to be the precursor to many, many more of such devastating tidings. Oh no! We reached Utsunomiya just as summer was upon us. Okay, I still have a little bit of drink left. I can keep going. Yeah, I have a doctor's appointment in the morning, but... Excuse me, it's like at 11, so it should be good even if I stay up a little late. Originally, Utsunomiya Castle was a stronghold for former shogunate soldiers who were forcibly driven from Edo. Excuse me, but... The Imperial Army laid siege to the fortress and took control of it without much opposition. We could tell how bad the battle was from the sight of Utsunomiya Castle, crumbling from bombardment. Oh no, no, again! Kazuma. My heart was still reeling from Shiranui's revelation that Harada had died in Ueno. Ah shit, here we go again! At first, I wasn't sure if I could bear to listen to another bit of terrible news, but I had to persevere. Please tell me. As soon as I answered him, Kazuma spoke quietly. Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. The other canon event. Or the main canon event. That's a character death drink. Bro. And he never explained why he had Western clothing, like, what? They're remastering Fallout 3 in New Vegas and will presumably release on Switch so you can enjoy it at work too now. Hey! I think- wait, you know what? I think it was Experimenter that mentioned that. So that's interesting. Damn, that's crazy to think. I mean, I know Fallout Shelter's on Switch, but that doesn't count. So it's interesting to see, you know, other Fallout games. Like, main Fallout games on the Switch. Hope they keep the clips that crashed my game. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. Also, technically I could play New Vegas at work, but, you know, it's fun to actually stream New Vegas. Speaking of, New Vegas stream later today. The Switch is gonna love that, right? I just wonder how they're gonna do that. But I mean, Skyrim is on Switch, right? So, you know, I guess it's doable. How is Skyrim? Does anyone know? Like, what's Skyrim? How does Skyrim perform on the Switch? Kondo had been so kind, and yet they denied him an honorable death by seppuku. They'd cut his head off like some common criminal. Skyrim is surprisingly stable on Switch. Really? Well, that's interesting. Okay, well, I mean, if that's doable, then I guess Fallout will run fine. Okay. Oh, seppuku drink. At least it is on your 1-year-old Switch. Okay. I stood silent. Kazuma looked away. You have all the Bethesda stuff on Steam Deck already, so you're good, but everyone else go crazy. Fair. Lord knows how it'll hold up 6 years later. That's also fair. No, I believe you. Ever since the day I heard of Kondo's surrender, I had expected this outcome. Oh, did they announce it at this point in the route? Or like anytime this route? Because I don't remember. What the heck? But still, to hear of it now, it was almost too much to bear. What does it mean for the Shinsengumi now? Kondo proudly served as the Shinsengumi's chief, and without him, who would support them? Why can't you find the specific Slay the Spire 2 card you're looking for? Oh damn, you're still looking for it? Oh man. Wouldn't some wiki have an archive of all the cards that exist at this point? Like... His last question wasn't an inquiry. It was a confirmation. Kazuma seemed to know that my mind was already made up. I looked him square in the eye. You've looked through a list of all region cards twice now? What the heck? And it's like actually in the game, right? Like I trust you, but... I'm going to Aizu too. I'm going wherever the Shinsengumi men are. Oh, that's... I've never seen that happen before. Text box goes away and then Kazuma blinks. I've never seen that happen with any character. Interesting. And so, Kazuma and I headed north, chasing after the Shinsengumi. En route to Aizu, it seemed that wearing my usual clothing would make us stand out. So she is wearing the Western-style clothing, ah! Thus, I ended up wearing the Western-style outfit that Kazuma had prepared for me. Okay, so that explains why he's switching. Then, in August 1868, just as I was getting used to these new clothes... That's so funny she's mentioning the date now, so that's a date drink. For her new clothes. After a long journey, Kazuma and I finally set foot in Aizu. Tensions boiled under the surface in anticipation of the upcoming battle in the vicinity of Shirakawa. It was here that we reunited with Amagiri, who was accompanied by members of the Satsuma domain. Damn it, did they move again? Why do you guys keep missing them?
5月に城を落とされ、それ以降、何度か城の奪還を試みましたが、叶わなかったとのことです。予想通りだ。
Damn, they're just on a wild goose chase.
戦というのは破れかぶれで戦って勝てるほど甘いものではないからな。
Afterwards, the soldiers from the Aizu domain had retreated back to Aizu Castle. It seemed they were still barricaded inside the castle and fighting. Is that where the Shinsengumi is headed then?
おそらくは。
You know, okay, hold on. That comma didn't need to be there for the then, like before the then. So we can take a grammar drink there. If so, then I wanted to go as soon as possible, but
会津は陥落寸前です。あとは若松城を残すのみ。お前はどうするつもりだ？
Over 6 months had passed since I was separated from the Shinsengumi in Kyoto. My search for them had led me all over the country, Osaka, Edo, and now Utsunomiya. However, each time I thought I'd finally caught up, they had already left to go fight for their next battle. No matter how fast I chased them, they were always out of my reach. Would each of them succumb to a fate similar to Kondo's or Harada's before I could see them again? Well, yes. I mean, Okita's probably gonna die. I was gripped with a mixture of fear and anxiety, which prompted me to speak up. I would like to head for Aizu Castle. Yeah, I mean... yeah, that's fair, Kazuma.
お前は今の状況を分かっておらぬのか。若松城は新政府軍に包囲され、厳しい戦いの最中にあるのだぞ。
I understand, but the Shinsengumi might be there. I've missed them several times in a row. What if I miss my chance this time too? Then I might never again. I bit my lip to hold back the rest. Kazuma's expression, however, was as aloof as ever.
仮に連中が若松城にいるとしよう。だが、今さらお前がその場に行ったとて、それでどうする？いや、どうなる？
Well...
むざむざ死にに行くようなものだ。愚かとしか言いようがない。
But I'm not trying to do anything once I get there. I wouldn't be able to save any of them, even if I did catch up. I knew that, but I want to see everyone while I still can. I don't know if I could bear the thought of never seeing them again. Just like Kondo and Harada.
奴らと共に自ら犬死にする道を選ぶというのか。
I'm not going to die in vain.
犬死にでなくて何だというのだ。近藤勇は罪人として斬首され、その首を三条河原にさらされている。上野の戦で命を落としたあの原田という男も、人間どもにその名を称えられることはあるまい。奴らの名はせいぜい逆賊として人間どもの記憶に刻まれるだけだ。
Of course this would happen, should the Imperials win control of the whole country. The truth about the Shinsengumi and its people would be warped for successive generations. Actually, Kazuma, they'll be made into husbandos. Yeah. But I will remember. It doesn't matter if everyone drags their name through the mud. Can't find the card. Is this an actual card? Like, I will never forget what they truly were, so long as I live. Kazuma gritted his teeth tight as he glared at me chillingly.
ここまで愚かな女だとは思わなかった。よかろう。ならば好きにするがいい。
Maybe it's not a card, definitely saw art of it in the game. Is it? And it's not like an epoch or anything, right? I was unsure whether Kazuma was angry or merely irritated with me. His eyes were like daggers. I could barely speak, let alone breathe.
二人とも少し落ち着いてください。
Yeah, right?
我々が争ってどうするのですか。風間もらしくありませんね。娘一人に怒りをあらわにするなど。
この娘があまりにも愚かなことを言うからだ。これ以上話していても時間の無駄だ。俺は他に用がある。行かせてもらうぞ。
Kazuma snapped at me and spun on his heels. Okay, that technically that comma doesn't need to be there. I'll take that as a grammar drink. He stalked away without another word. I contemplated calling after him to clear the air, but I could only hang my head and bite my lip.
追いかけた方がいいですよ。
Huh? Huh, drink.
風間は気分屋ではありますが、わけもなく怒りを表に
It's
出
the
す
Friends
男ではあ
epoch.
りません。
Ah, there you go. Okay. I'll have to look that up later. I wasn't following. Nonetheless, he continued on in an admonishing tone.
焦る気持ちはわかりますが、君一人ではそもそも若松城までたどり着けません。それは君にもわかっているでしょう。
Yes.
それにそもそも新選組の面々がまだ若松城にとどまっているかどうかも分かっていません。私は今から新選組の足取りを調べてくるつもりです。君はその間に風間と話してくるといい。
Amagiri? Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. That might just be what I need to buzz. That might just be what I need to buzz. Cause I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing. I don't think we had a yes, thank you so much drink for a while. But yeah, that's a thank you so much drink. Yeah, he said duty. Excuse me. With that said, Amagiri bowed his head and vanished like mist into thin air. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I'm actually tired, but also, I don't know. Well, my drink is finished. I kind of want to keep going, but should I? Caught so off guard. I know, right? Those thank you so muches get you. All right. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. It's coin toss time. Heads, I keep going. Grab another drink. Tails, we call it, because I mean we are almost at 3 hour runtime, and I wouldn't mind, but like also like I don't know, man. It's my weekend. Okay, it's Tails. It's Tails. We'll call it here. Like we got enough content today, so you know I can't complain. What are we all? We're already on like chapter 3, right? So that's pretty decent because Edo Blossom does kind of go quite a bit with their routes, and because we can also skip for Kyoto Winds, it's like okay, yeah, we get through that pretty fast. But yeah, no, I'm pleased. I like what we got. I'm surprised that they killed off Baldfather, like already. I thought he was gonna be final boss or whatever, but I think it's kind of pointing towards Kaoru being our final boss, but who knows? Yeah, this has been an interesting route. It's so weird not having the Shinsengumi be around. But I don't know. I don't know why I thought for this route, Yukimura would just be like, okay, let's abandon the Shinsengumi. I fully embrace being a demon. But I do like that, she's trying to get in contact with them because they've been such a big impact on her life. So it's like, I need to see them. They're like family. Now you gotta watch Koichi get kidnapped so he can evolve his Pokestand. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, and keep enjoying some JoJo's. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning into the stream. As always, love chatting with you guys and hanging out. If you're just watching, I'm always glad to be entertainment. Like I said earlier, we're gonna have Fallout New Vegas as our stream later today, so look forward to that. And yeah, matanene, my dudes. Hope you guys have a lovely rest of your night or day, wherever you may be. And I'll catch you guys later. Take care, stay safe out there. Peace out. You finally found it. Oh, okay, never mind. Wait, what? I thought you said it was an epoch. But congrats on finding it. Nah, I'm calling it here. Alright, late my dudes.